Name Alex Foster, level 9, class and rank missing, health 300 units, strength 30, agility 20, intelligence 15, mana 200, endurance 15, wisdom 30, charisma 21. High-level heroes say during the battle that they can't let newbies die, but Alex is not simple, and therefore destroys all hostile entities with the help of many swords. Some military men are shocked by this newcomer. His strength can clearly be compared to a god. He says indifferently that he is indeed a newbie, but has been stuck in this day for 3,000 years already. The hero recalls that he studied hard and studied surgery in order to personally perform the operation for his girlfriend. During this time, Alex learned many different skills, such as how to fly a plane and write hacker programs against any system. He also learned a variety of surgeries, became proficient in chess, checkers, and other games, and became much stronger. The warrior girl shouts out that they can't handle it this time, as these monsters surpass the power of the C-rank world and continue to fight. The main character protects the girl from hordes of monsters. She asks why he does this. He cuts down the giant demon and thinks that after so much time and effort, he gets stabbed in the back because he still can't save his friends. But this time, he will definitely change fate. He wakes up again at the beginning of the day and realizes that this time he will lead everyone to destroy the shadow and gain freedom. 5 years ago, a huge number of interdimensional portals, later called gates, suddenly appeared on Earth. People could use them to enter different levels of the shadow world for adventures. Such people, called the Awakened, were chosen by the shadow world and given the opportunity to gain power while constantly risking their lives. A giant demon attacks the sorceress Jessica Walsh. She is unable to fight off the attack, so she screams and cries. At the last moment, swordswoman Maria Sparks appears. She cuts down the demon and says that they will still get out. Fighter Anya understands that with each enemy killed, the number of enemies only increases, but the heroes are already too tired, and because of this, the power of their attacks has seriously decreased. Warrior Patrick Livesey sighs, sweating, and realizes that it seems his wish to live to 70 will not come true. Alex in the safe sphere asks to remove his shield and let him try to enter the battle. Maria shouts that he has entered this stage for the first time. He does not have the necessary level or skills. He says that every newbie once enters a battle for the first time. The heroes repeat several actions from the previous variation of this day. They attack many demons and shout that they cannot let the newbie die before them. The giant monster's huge paw pins the swordswoman to the ground, completely ignoring her sword, which she uses to defend herself. Foster asks Jessica to remove the shield from him. She eventually agrees and uses a shield-canceling spell to free the protagonist. The demon squeezes Maria in his hand. She understands that this is how it seems everything will end for her. Alex snatches the girl from the clutches of the monster. She does not believe that he could save her, because he still does not know how to do anything. But he says that now is not the time for questions. Foster throws the sword at the demon's neck and kills it with one blow. Everyone around is in shock. Patrick realizes that every blow he makes hits the most vulnerable spot, and Anya asks if he really has the first level. At that very moment, the guy gains a new level, saying that he is no longer a rookie hero. He shouts that there is a monster lair nearby. They need to get out of here immediately, while simultaneously beating up the monsters. Livesey thinks the new guy is seeing the future. He's already telling everyone to run to the car nearby. The swordswoman commands that no one should lag behind the newcomer if they want to live. Many monsters are chasing the heroes. She asks if he is really a newbie, but the guy ironically remarks that anyone with sight can see that he is only level 2. She doesn't understand how he can know everything. She thinks it's nonsense, and the guy notes to himself that he's been here for 3,000 years, and therefore has time to learn it. Alex cuts the monster and says that, to be precise, he has been stuck here for 3,000 years. Tomorrow at 6 in the morning, when the sun rises, he will return to this place again, just when they were just transferred to this world of shadows. The girl says that she doesn't believe him, because if that's the case, then it's unclear why he's trying to save them. Foster notes that she is protecting them because she has been trying to protect him for the past 3 millennia. Time after time she died to save him, so no matter how many times he is reborn, he is obliged to bring her back safe and sound each time, because she is also his support and salvation throughout the many years of reincarnation. She says that of course she was touched by her words. She still doesn't believe him. He must just be a master flirt. And Livesey and Jessica are embarrassed in the background. Walsh asks if he's tired of fighting non-stop for 3,000 years. and he says that's why he hasn't been sitting idle all this time. He studied all the possible class changes, all the skills and hidden elements that were available in the Shadow World system. He also collected information about the other Shadow Worlds from awakened people who entered this world. The swordswoman notices that he says it's the second system of the Shadow World, and he says that it could very well be. He says that from now on they must move forward along the overpass and not stop, no matter what happens. The girl asks if they're going to split up, but Alex pats her on the head and says that they will not split up until everyone gets out of here alive. A boy jumps off a bridge into a ruined city, moving further and further away from his friends. Below, gunsmith Elizabeth Clark fights monsters, realizing that their numbers are growing by the minute. She understands that she has run out of ammunition, and therefore it seems that her life will end here. Alex appears and defends the girl. She asks why he is helping her. He calmly tells her that she needs to go down in the elevator to the 13th floor. Open safe 1302. There will be the cartridges she needs, and the password is 0014. The girl is confused. They don't have time. The guy pushes her into the elevator and calls it to the right floor. And he himself leaves the battle scene, saying that he helps her because they are comrades. Foster notices that 1 minute and 6 seconds have passed. After 30 years of fighting, he finally made it 1 second faster. A huge horde of demons is chasing the heroes along the track in order to wipe them off the face of the earth. The squad runs along the highway and wonders if that guy tricked them, because they arrived in some strange tunnel. Someone shouts that they may be walking into a trap, but Stark says there is no choice but to trust Alex. Here they notice the guy himself at the end of the tunnel, thinking that he got here by some shortcut. Foster asks them to run further. He will sort everything out himself. The squad listens to him and does not stop. In front of Alex, there are thousands of monsters flying at him from all sides. The guy has some kind of remote control in his hands. The main character apologizes to the monsters and says that they can't go any further. He presses a button. Everything around explodes. The squad is shocked by the guy. He runs after them and shouts for them not to slow down and not to turn around. The entire tunnel explodes, killing all the monsters inside, their corpses flying into the air with terrible force. At the exit from it, the squad stops. Alex asks them not to worry, since the range of the bomb was calculated to be up to a meter. All the monsters inside were destroyed. The tunnel is closed. Now they can move on. The squad stands in shock. Foster, with a smug face, tells them that it's time to stop standing there with their mouths open. It's time to go. The 5 of them stand and look at the city. Alex is told that they are now safe. He asks the others if they believe him now. Maria says that he may be good for a newbie, but he still can't believe that he lived in one day for so many years. And Anya thinks that bombs and city maps are not that hard to get, so his story is not convincing yet. Jessica asks what Alex has been doing for 3,000 years, other than fighting, since that is such a long time. And he says that he has learned a variety of skills during that time. Fighter Anya says that the city of dark ruins is huge. There must be a lot of awakened here now. She asks the guy if he knows anyone else here. He replies that over the years, he has gotten to know all the awakened here, as well as their secrets. But among them, only 7 people were ready to die side by side with him. The little sorceress notices that there are only 4 of them here and asks where the others are, and the swordswoman asks her not to believe in all this nonsense because it is unrealistic to live the same day for 3,000 years. Foster, lowering his head, says that he wishes the girl were right and that it really would be impossible. Then the guy says that they need to split up again. Maria notes that the guy is just a liar, since he himself said that time only rewinds back at sunset. Alex is tired of explaining himself to the girl. He says that in any case, before the next cycle, he will have time to send them home. Walsh notices a creaking sound and sees that the funicular is working again. She asks Foster how this happened. The guy jumps into the car and says he wasn't lying when he said he learned programming to control the funicular. He just had to hack into the city's electrical system. Near the Ferris wheel, the boss of the City of Dark Ruins, a giant with steel wings, throws people in uniform and body armor aside. They try to shoot at him, but he is so much bigger than them that he sweeps them all away with one swing and even puts one person in his mouth and starts chewing. The officers standing aside understand that they cannot cope. The intelligence was wrong, and they urgently need to retreat. Here they notice a man flying rapidly in the air with a furious expression on his face. Alex lands right in front of the head of the officers, who, seeing a level 5 rookie in front of him, shouts that it's too dangerous here, and that he should get out quickly. Foster turns around, raises his hand, and walks towards the huge monster, saying that he has come here to end this battle. The boss of the City of Dark Ruins laughs at the self-confident guy, extends his hand to him. The officers notice that the poor guy is finished. Alex, ignoring the voices, cuts off the fingers from the monster's huge hand, shocking the officers. The monster looks in surprise at his hand, which is missing 2 fingers. Foster notes to those around him that the most vulnerable parts of the giant with steel wings are his little finger and the ring finger of his left hand. After such a wound, the monster goes into the second stage. Its tentacles unfurl. This stage is much more powerful, but Alex deftly dodges the monster's blows. The head of the officers even loses his glasses from shock. He doesn't understand how the guy can have such a developed intuition. He dodges all attacks. Foster easily dodges the attacks and tells the officers that they cannot allow the monster to enter its 3rd stage of steel wings, as then it will be able to freely create attack vacuums, and then all living things in the area will only die. Alex plunges his sword into the giant's shoulder, moves in a circle, and cuts off the monster's entire arm. Foster, shouting that when the boss is at his most vulnerable, he reveals his control core, rushes with his sword at the monster's head. The boy opens the giant's skull and plunges his sword into the main mechanism, destroying the monster. The body of the boss of the City of Dark Ruins explodes. Alex, lowering his sword, walks away from the defeated enemy with a calm, confident gait. All the officers stand in amazement, calling the guy not a rookie, but a god, not understanding how he single-handedly dealt with the giant with steel wings. A red fireball similar to the sun appears in front of Foster. Alex approaches it. His level rises to 9th. A mechanical egg appears from the ball, from which a giant with steel wings can appear. It has a chance of falling out of 1 in 100,000. Foster takes it in his hands and regrets that this time it will disappear too. The final boss of the Dark Ruins city is destroyed. The quest is completed. All awakened ones will be teleported back within 1 minute. The squad watches the flash from afar and discusses Foster's actions. They decide that they will find out when they escape the Shadow World, and if they never see him again upon their return, then he was telling the truth. Alex stands with an egg in his hands, surrounded by officers. Every time he reaches 6 o'clock in the morning, or after defeating the main boss, he starts all over again. Foster is getting ready to start a new cycle. He is very upset. He closes his eyes and just waits. There is a flash. He wakes up in bed, opens his eyes abruptly, and doesn't understand where he is. Looks at the date on his phone, 15.23, November 12th, 2065. The guy looks out the window, waves his hands, and screams with joy that he was finally able to return home. Alex was finally able to get rid of endless days of battles, and he also had level 9 left on his scoreboard. Foster notices an egg on the table. He doesn't understand how it got there. The digital display shows a rare rank for this item, and next to the fetal development parameter there are 3 questions. Alex is happy that he now has the egg, and even despite these questions, he still knows 7 ways to grow a giant with steel wings. Then someone knocks on the door of his room. It turns out to be Sarah, Alex's sister. She is surprised to see her brother and asks when he managed to return. The girl is very unhappy. She was worried all day yesterday, called him, and even almost went to the police. Foster rushes at his sister and hugs her tightly, saying that he missed her very much. The girl is in shock because they have not seen each other for only a day. She is embarrassed. She asks to let her go. Alex asks Sarah to wait a little and let him hug her a little longer. The guy thinks about how long he hasn't seen his sister. The girl peels herself away from the guy, makes an angry face, and asks her brother where he was yesterday. Alex, sweating, says that he had problems at work and his phone ran out of battery. He asks his sister not to be so angry, takes out his phone, says that he received his salary and is ready to immediately buy her the set of tools that she wanted so much. Sarah immediately becomes very friendly, quickly forgives her brother, and says that she will go and cook dinner for the 2 of them. Alex asks for a marbled beefsteak, wine, and lobster. The girl gets angry and says that he will eat what she cooks, without comment. Foster remembers sitting next to his sister's hospital bed after they lost their parents in an accident, and she lost the ability to walk. But she promised to always help him no matter what. The guy then promised that despite the doctor's words, he would still get her back on her feet. Alex follows his sister out of the room and tells her that he recently studied medicine and surgery and invites her to the operation. Sarah takes this as a joke and asks the guy not to interfere with her while she cooks dinner. Foster hears on TV that many have already heard that 5 years ago, a multitude of spatial rifts gates appeared that significantly changed the entire world. The Shadow World has chosen some people who started their adventures in another world. These are the awakened ones, who risk their lives to change their destiny. People who have received supernatural abilities and even special classes, but they cannot escape their own destiny. Usually the awakened have a choice of which world to be in, but periodically some of them are sucked into unknown and dangerous worlds. According to rumors, all the Shadow Worlds will only disappear after the divine-ranked Shadow World is cleared. The leader of the Art Guild, Alston, who ranks #1 in the world, appears on the screen. Alston, the strongest awakened in the world, also known as the Keeper of Hope, a legend of the awakened who has cleared out many Shadow Worlds. After Alex hears this man called a representative of justice and honor, he jumps up from his seat. Foster knows that this man is not who he claims to be, but is in fact a demon. In Alex's cycle, Alston repeatedly sought out and absorbed the life force of other, awakened to heal himself, eventually killing everyone himself, including Foster. The guy is sure that this man's true goal is to use his image to control the world and become God. Foster decides that he needs to avoid Alston until he becomes strong enough to go toe-to-toe with him. He needs his own guild. According to the scientist Alex met in the Shadow World, the next Shadow World, the Awakened, will be transported to will be a catastrophic Shadow World, and Foster is obliged to save all his friends there. The guy's thoughts are interrupted by Sarah, who, wheeling into the room in a wheelchair, announces that the food is ready and calls him to eat. At the Awakened Help Center, people are watching Alston on the big screen. They think that the Ark is a really cool guild. Everyone dreams of joining it, and they don't understand why anyone creates other guilds. Foster stands in front of the window. The girl asks him if he really wants to create his own guild. He replies that yes, and has even already filled out an online questionnaire. People around him pay attention to Alex, considering him crazy. Someone notices that most guild creators are at least level 50. The girl at the window asks the guy to provide an A-rank item as collateral. The onlookers laugh, thinking that such a fool wouldn't even have a D-rank item. Alex, ignoring the people behind him, says that he does not have such an item, but he does have something else and shows an egg. The egg turns out to be a special C-rank treasure. Everyone around can't believe that this newbie has such an item. Foster asks to keep the egg in a place with freezing temperatures and asks if he can now continue with the registration. The girl warns Alex that if less than 3 people join his guild within 36 hours, the registration will be canceled and the deposit will remain with them. The guy remembers his squad, which he led through the tunnel. He is sure that he can convince them to join the guild. Maria Sparks trains at the London Martial Arts Center, and she clearly outperforms her clubmates. She receives a message from Foster. She immediately remembers that this is the guy who lives one day for 3,000 years, and also realizes that he was lying after all. Anya is sitting in the office where she is the president and is scolding a subordinate, when a message also comes to her phone. She finds out who it is from and decides that she is not interested. Patrick Livesey is driving a car that transports technology from the Shadow World when his phone makes a sound. At first, he thinks it's some kind of spam, but then he sees a message about an invitation to the guild from Foster. He clicks the decline button. Jessica Walsh receives the same invitation as her friends, and she responds with a message telling her older brother that lying is bad. Alex is not too upset when he sees the immediate refusals of all the squad members. He decides to focus on 3 other people for now. Some people support the older sister Charlotte, who was able to put down some group. The girl stands with her foot on the man, pinning him to the ground, and asks him what makes him so cool. Charlotte tells a sweating man that even though her friends are small fry, she won't allow them to be bullied. The guy takes out a gun and, shouting, "Die, creature!" shoots the girl, but she doesn't pay attention to the bullets and blows up her bubble gum. She then, with one wave of her hand, turns the bullets around and sends them back at the guy. Charlotte tells the man that her people did not take their goods, and if they start bothering them again, she will destroy all the enemies herself. Her people praise their older sister, saying that all mercenaries are just dust compared to her. The girl is pleased with the compliments. Then Foster appears behind them, sarcastically pointing out that these guys are in trouble again. They all turn around sharply and ask the guy who he is, and he replies that he is the one who invites them to the Dawn Guild. Charlotte approaches Alex and says that she herself is a little crazy, but she would never have thought that there was such a crazy newbie of the 9th level. She also notes that she likes his madness, but she does not have time to play with children. 2 guys come forward and say that Alex is a nobody even to them. And if he wants to invite their big sister to a crappy guild, he needs to show his strength first. Foster, without thinking twice, delivers a blow that carries the guys to the other end of the alley and scatters all the lying corpses. Charlotte says with a scared face that all the newbies have the straight punch skill, but she doesn't understand why this guy's is so strong. Alex says that even the most basic skills can become a destructive force if used correctly, and it only takes 1,000,000 practices to master them. The girl throws all the trash around her into the air, telling the guy that she doesn't like him. He's too weird. Foster stops Charlotte's attack, saying that she is moving too slowly, and he appears behind her and holds his sword to her neck. Charlotte notices that the guy acted dishonestly by sneaking up on her from behind, so he suggests having a little competition in the girl's strong point, telekinesis. Foster sets out tin cans and announces simple conditions. Whoever knocks down the most of them wins. If Charlotte wins, he is ready to become her subordinate, and if he does, she must join his guild. Charlotte turns on her ability, and the guys stand behind her and ask her to show this upstart who's boss. The girl knocks down 5 cans that were closest to her. Her guys are happy with the result, believing that Alex won't knock down even 2. Foster knocks down all the cans with 1 punch, leaving the audience in shock. Charlotte doesn't understand where this guy gets so much power from, and he just notes that he already said that everything depends on how you use the skill, and also says that the girl lost and she will have to join the guild. The girl accepts defeat. An agreement is an agreement, and now she is his subordinate. He says that it would be better for him to teach her these terrible blows. Alex looks sideways at the girl and promises to make her the queen of telekinesis. He turns and leaves, raising his hand in farewell and saying, "Welcome to the Dawn Guild." Foster returns home and does not find his sister there, and is already starting to worry when he notices dinner on the table and a note saying that Sarah went to the store to help her uncle. Reading the note, the boy is touched. He notices that his sister always goes to help others and grows up too fast. Alex is sitting and eating when he receives a message from the gunsmith Elizabeth Clark. The guy is surprised that the girl just joined the newbie guild and didn't even ask anything. She says that she just wanted to thank him for saving her, but since she has a lot of things to do, she will leave soon. Foster replies that she doesn't have to be a hired killer all her life. She thinks he knows too much about her and asks him not to write to her without reason. Alex says he won't let her rot in the darkness. He swears he'll get Elizabeth out of there. The guy realizes that only 2 people have joined his guild, and there are only 4 hours left. Foster chooses a 3rd person. On a night road in the pouring rain, 3 guys beat up a 4th, calling him a loser, because they robbed him and beat him up, and he doesn't fight back. The guy, writhing in pain and lying on the asphalt, thinks that he cannot fight back because he is awakened, and they are ordinary people. The bandits don't like the fact that the guy is just lying there like a sack. They get bored. They want to take him to the black market and at least make money on his organs. Michael Kepler, who is lying on the road, feels the beast awakening inside him. He asks him not to come out, saying that these people cannot be attacked, but it is too late. The robbers see this huge black monster and decide to flee, but the beast does not let them leave, smashing everything around. A black monster, resembling a huge fox, grabs people and simply eats them. Michael, huddled on the wet pavement, cries and wonders why all this is happening. People on the street are screaming in fear. Some girl is asking to stop this mad fox, her boyfriend says. Awakened, says that he is a level 16 newbie with no class, and this beast will just eat him. Here, near the huge fox, Alex appears on a lamppost. The animal smells him. Foster rushes at the monster. The girl tells her boyfriend that a savior has come, and he realizes that it is just a level 9 rookie. Alex expertly dodges all of the fox's attacks, leaving onlookers shocked by his skills. The guy knows that the nightmare fox is a serious opponent, and if he hadn't trained against her in countless attempts, he wouldn't have been able to cope now. He also remembers that over time she becomes stronger, so he needs to finish her off quickly. He deflects her huge clawed paw with his sword and then runs, calling for her to follow him. Michael watches this battle in tears. He shouts at the guy to run faster because the nightmare fox will kill him in a second. Foster grabs poor Kepler as he runs and runs with him in his arms, then suddenly stops and lifts the boy up. The beast approaches its master closely, begins to dissolve and plunges back into Michael's body. Kepler is happy that the fox recognized him, but Alex is quick to disappoint him by telling him that he is mistaken and that the fox did not attack him because he himself is a nightmare beast. Foster recalls that the nightmare fox first appeared in the shadow world when Michael was attacked, and he, as a rookie first class, was able to summon it, so since then it appears from his body whenever he is in danger. Alex tells the boy that he is not just a person, but an awakened one, who appears one in tens of thousands. He has a strong ability that must be controlled, otherwise today's cases will be repeated. One day Michael will be able to destroy an entire city, because he is a strong guy who takes everything on himself. Foster pats the boy on the head and adds, asking Michael about the pile of Alston figurines that he collects, because he also wants to become a hero like him. Kepler is shocked that this unknown uncle knows something about his life. Alex, extending his hand to the boy, says that they are friends who have been through countless lives and deaths. Then he offers Michael to join his guild in exchange for helping him learn to control the beast. Kepler agrees. There are many people standing in front of the bright turquoise portal. The D-rank shadow world is about to open, and they are 2 people short to start. Charlotte and Alex appear and say they want to join their company. The bald man asks questioningly if the 9th level guy is really ready for this. The 24th level ability carrier is fine, but the guy is too weak. The girl says that this weakling is her boss, so if he can't go, then she won't go either. The man wonders if he understood correctly that the 24th level awakened one regards the 9th level newbie as her boss. He thinks that this boy must be her boyfriend and not her boss. She just doesn't want him to lose face. The man waves his arms dismissively and says that all their seats are taken, so they should be ready to leave in 5 minutes. The girl asks if another child was supposed to join them for training, but Alex says he had extra classes, so he won't be there. Charlotte wonders if there are still people who take extra classes when our world is becoming more and more dangerous due to the influence of the shadows. She asks why the boss decided to invite them to his guild. But he says that he did it because the next forced relocation will be to a disaster rank world, and if they are all in the same guild, they will be sent to the same shadow world. Thanks to this, he can guarantee that everyone will survive. The girl, slightly confused, asks how the boss plans to protect the 7 of them if he is only level 9, because in the shadow world of the disaster level he will not be able to protect himself. He says that she will find out everything soon. Those who pass through the portal appear on the edge of a cliff that is covered in snow. There is also extensive precipitation. This is the shadow world of D rank, a gray snow plain. Charlotte complains about the weather conditions, saying that if she had known, she would have worn more clothes. The man asks if anyone has been to this world before. The girl says she doubts it, because this shadow world should be rare with very few resources. Since this world is the same level, then you just need to find and kill elite monsters to return back. The girl notices a bright turquoise butterfly and reaches out to it with words praising its beauty. At the moment of contact, the girl's hand is covered in ice, and the brush cracks and falls apart. Everyone is in shock. One of the heroes destroys the butterfly with his staff. The bald man says that these things are very dangerous. You need to be extremely careful when you are here. At that very moment, a multitude of butterflies appear around, which finally frees several people with their powers. Alex says these lowland butterflies are attracted to their body heat, and if they stay here any longer, they will be faced with a sea of them. Everyone is running away despite our hero staying here, so they choose to run away, ignoring the bearer of the 24th level ability. The girl wonders why she and the boss don't leave, and then suggests that it must be because there is treasure here and they deliberately scared the others away. Charlotte understands that these creatures are here for her training. She asks if the guy has completely lost his mind, because she can deal with one wave at most. He also says that the girl can only use a burst of mental power to attack, so each attack must be directed at just one butterfly. But she is indignant, saying that this is simply impossible. Alex releases multiple energy beams from his hands, destroying multiple butterflies. The girl says that she would never have believed it. If she hadn't seen it with her own eyes, she would never have believed it. It's a basic level skill. Is it really a spiritual break in the mind? Can it be used in this way? While the butterflies in the area explode from his attack, the guy says that the girl needs to focus, first, on compressing the force of her explosion. And with her talents, she should be able to reduce each projectile to the size of a grain. With each stage of compression, the control will become better, thanks to which she will become stronger. Then she will need to learn to control the trajectory along which she shoots, and also do not forget about the angle and speed. She tries to concentrate and says that it's easy for him to say, does he really think she's as crazy as he is? Alex says that to finish the training, she needs to kill 2,000 butterflies one by one. If she kills 2 at once, Then 2 will be added to the task. Now her goal is 2,001 butterflies. He jumps onto a tree branch and says that he will rest there for now, and that she should train diligently and not slack off. She screams at him to stop bullying her, then wonders if she can really handle such a huge number of these creatures. Then the girl runs away from the insects and asks the boss to get out of here, but he is still sleeping. Here he throws some kind of potion and tells her to drink it. The girl holds a purple bottle and thinks about why it might be needed. She asks if it's an invisibility potion, but he says it's just a F-rank heat resistance potion. But it also prevents body heat loss, preventing her from attracting butterflies while training. She asks if since he had this potion with him, he already knew that they would end up here. He just says that she can ask questions, but she can't stop training. The girl concentrates and prepares for another concentrated attack, and asks that the shadow gates only show the rank of the shadow world behind them, and the place cannot be recognized even by an awakened person. And he says he can find out because he is 99% equal to the shadow world system. If she had to live in the shadow world for 3,000 years, she too would be able to understand what was behind the gate using some clues, laws, and calculations. She says that she has a bad memory, so it wouldn't make sense even if she was given 10,000 years. And besides, she doesn't believe that he was here for 3,000 years. She makes a disgruntled face and tells the boss to add 6 more butterflies to the task. At this point, while the rest of the heroes were running from the butterflies, they lost many of their people, who now became ice cubes. One of them asks why there is such a high mortality rate among heroes in the D-rank world. The bald one says that most of the monsters in this world have the cold attribute, which is why they are stronger. Then a multitude of giant red praying mantises appear. They attack, and the man says that they are approaching again. The inspired heroes rush at the crowd of giant arthropods, but they deal with many people without any problems. Then an even bigger praying mantis appears, and the bald man realizes that this is an elite void ripper and they are doomed. Charlotte jumps up and shouts that she did it. She asks if the boss saw it, but he is not there. She notices that her boss is gone. The girl realizes that he had another reason to get into this world of shadows. The leader of the squad and the girl try to defend themselves from the praying mantises, but they are surrounded. The man lunges at her with a sword, but the void ripper kills him with its claw, leaving the girl alone. The mantis is already raising its claw over her when Alex appears and cuts off the ripper's paw. Foster cuts into pieces one praying mantis after another. The eviscerators do not have time to do anything. The girl, all in tears, watches the guys battle and remembers that this is the same newbie with the 9th level. Alex cuts off the head of the last red mantis. The girl thanks him. He replies that he saved her by accident, and he needs to go do other things. The protagonist approaches a cliff and throws a praying mantis head there. The girl stands behind him and asks what he is doing, and he replies that he is setting bait. A huge centipede crawls out of the abyss. The girl is shocked that the guy summoned the final boss so quickly. The Iceborne world boss, a giant centipede, bursts out from under the ice right next to Foster, with a second similar monster crawling behind it. In front of them, there are 2 boss monsters in full length. The girl is afraid and does not understand what to do. The guy orders her to quickly get out of here. One of the giant centipedes spits ice at Alex, but he calmly smashes it with his sword. The guy jumps, dodges the monster's attacks, and then stabs his sword into one of the centipedes. Both bosses fall. One centipede lies motionless. The second one starts moving, breaking the stones under itself. The girl notices that they cannot cause any damage to Alex. She begins to think that he is an awakened divine rank. Under the weight of these giant monsters, the rock collapses and the centipedes fall back into the abyss from which they crawled out, Foster flying along with them. The guy fails to split the monster's shell and starts riding with the sword, leaving a long furrow on the centipede's body. Then he suddenly changes direction and saws the boss in half. Before they can fall down, the giant centipedes are dead. For the victory, Alex receives a B-rank item, the Ice Blade. This weapon has a chance to apply the frostbite effect, which will slow down the enemy after hitting. Foster is very happy that he finally got a decent weapon that is not inferior to the A rank. The boss of the Grey Icelands was defeated. The exit from the dungeon opens. The girl is in shock. She thought that this newbie would die, but he managed to defeat the boss alone. Charlotte sees a beam going into the sky. She understands that the location has been passed. The girl does not understand how so quickly, because she still has 15 butterflies left. 3 people emerge from the gate. The people who were waiting for the winners are shocked that they are the only ones who survived. Charlotte gets furious, tells Alex that a little more and she would have been able to finish the test. The guy calms the girl down. He is sure that when she gets to the shadow world next time, she will be much stronger. The girl hopes that they will now go to another shadow world, but Foster tells her that he will take a break for 2 days. Besides, he needs to take care of something else. In Anya's office, her subordinate tries to justify the failed deal so that she won't fire him, saying that doing so would tarnish the reputation of the previous president, for whom he worked for 30 years. The current president of the company, Miss Anya, is very unhappy with this. She believes that this person is trying to threaten her with the company's reputation. The subordinate is again trying to justify himself. The girl turns to the man and tells him that she has learned that the investment funds they used to trade biologics in February of this year and buy securities last September were dishonest. She says she is too lazy to look at how much money was embezzled and is going to just hand it over to the police. The subordinate begins to apologize, says that he simply made a mistake. He asks to forgive him in the name of the previous president. Anya believes that she can forgive him, but he will have to return all the stolen money and surrender all the shares. Then perhaps, in the name of his father, she can provide him with a free place in the company's nursing home until he passes away. Another subordinate approaches the president and says that the guy who kept insisting that he was her comrade has finally left. She suggests calling the police to arrest him. Anya says that there is no need. This guy is just a pervert and will not do anything. He will take care of it himself. Miss Anya drinks coffee and goes to the window. On the sidewalk, she sees a familiar guy. Foster notices her and begins to wave his hand intensively. A guy texts a girl asking if she's watching him and makes a joke about her black outfit. The girl calls the guy a pervert and blocks him on his phone. He gets upset that he failed again. Foster sends a few more text messages. Patrick and Jessica refuse to talk, citing business. He understands that all these people are in different parts of the world, and no one wants to see him. There are only 10 days until the great catastrophe. Alex thinks about how he can make them join his guild. 4 figures move along the dark highway, led by the tall, stately Foster. Elizabeth tells the boy that she is only a nominal member of the guild and does not need to join official events. Alex reports that he has already posted the A-rank mission she wanted. According to the rules of the assassins, she is obliged to go with them. The girl asks him to explain why he brought them there so late at night. Foster replies that they came to the military base for training. Charlotte asks why there are 3 of them when there should be 7. He replies that perhaps the rest are on their way. Michael wonders why there are no people at the base. Alex explains that he hacked into the main system of the place and made sure that no one would disturb them. Alex recalls how he hacked the system to get rid of all the personnel by reporting a gas leak, which would cause the zone to be quarantined for 15 days. He says that now this complex is something like their playground. Charlotte is very happy and says that she is absolutely sure that there is nothing that the boss cannot handle. The guy says that he already told her that he was stuck in this place for a long time. If he didn't study something new, he would lose his mind. Foster completes his own authorization without any problems to enter the depths of the complex. The guy shouts out his hopes that his men are ready for special training. Alex takes his guild to the astronaut training facilities. Charlotte asks if they're going to Mars to fight the Martians. The boss replies that she is overthinking things. He just wants to use the equipment to train them. Elizabeth says that she is not interested in training astronauts. She does not want to waste time and energy participating in it. The girl makes several attempts and literally begs Alex to give her another chance, so that she can cope with the control of the ship. The guy asks to give him a minute to adjust the radius of the fragments, after which he will send her for another try. The girl asks if these simulations are not fixed, to which he says that this is true. But if he changes the code a little, he will be able to make small changes to the simulation. She wonders who he is. A simple hacker is unlikely to be capable of such a thing. Alex says he spent decades studying spacecraft design and space ecology, although she dismisses it as an unusual hobby he did to kill time. Charlotte emerges from the simulation and screams that it was bloody fun. The lack of gravity, the spinning, the obstacles, and the adrenaline. Just amazing. Foster says that he didn't bring them here to play games. A more stimulating mode was chosen for her to train her mental potential. Alex asks if the boy is okay because he is breathing heavily. He cannot die here. He says that he is completely fine. In survival mode, you need to constantly dodge incoming asteroids. This is the perfect training for mental strength, which is best suited for mediums. On the other hand, attack mode requires you to focus on shooting as many targets as possible, which is ideal for training concentration. The guy finishes his monologue and starts the simulation for each member of his team. The joint mode brings concentration and mental state to the limit. This will be very useful for their control over abilities. The main thing is not to forget to breathe. After training, the squad is exhausted, the girls are resting on the floor, and the guy says that he has already thrown up so many times that he has lost count. Alex says that they need to go to their seats. If they are done whining, then they should get up and go back to their seats because the next round is starting. Michael says he'll try. Charlotte wonders if their boss is a demon. Elizabeth looks at Alex's face without trust. The guy says that if you compare him to the catastrophic level shadow world they will soon encounter, he is still extremely magnanimous. A week later, Alex's guild members are in some capsules filled with water with a bluish glow. Clark is the first to come out of the capsule. The guy says that she recovered very quickly. First, you need to go and check the results of her training. A training battle begins. The girl effectively shoots down robotic combat units before they can reach her. The robots are getting even faster, but she's pleased to note that she still finds them easy to handle. The statistics after the training battle say that the target accuracy is increased by 35%. Its speed is increased by 40%. The effective range is increased by 42%. And Alex says that this is not bad, but it still needs to work on recoil control and trigger pull speed. Charlotte is tested in the gravity room, fighting the balls with ease. She uses a telepathic barrier and asks to send all the balls that are there to her, so that it won't be so easy for her. The guy decides that if she can handle 6 balls easily, then it's time to aim all 40 balls he has in his arsenal at her. The girl thinks that there will be nothing left of her now, but the guy says that she just needs to concentrate all her power and release it all at once. The girl uses a psi field now. Even so many balls are not a hindrance to her. She feels inspired and full of strength. She says that it is time for them to take over the planet with such forces. He thinks that he didn't expect anything else from the future queen of telekinesis. She will be his ace in the hole. Michael's inner beast conquers the obstacle course with his newly acquired skills. The boy stands at a distance and controls the fox with his thoughts. The inner beast does not have time to dodge the obstacle, sending its owner into the depths of self-flagellation. Alex reassures the boy that before he could only control the fox for 7 seconds, but now he can control it for 3 minutes. Michael thinks that 3 minutes is still not enough, but the boss tells him to calm down, because given the strength of his beast, 3 seconds would be enough to destroy the enemy. The guild leader thanks everyone for their hard work. Training is over for today. Now they can rest. Charlotte is happy that she can finally fight with real people. Elizabeth is thinking about something of her own, and the boy understands that he still needs to do his homework. In 3 days, they will all be teleported to the shadow world of a catastrophic level. Now he is at level 13. This is not enough. He needs to train and develop as much as possible in the next 72 hours. Sarah calls Alex in a rage and tells him that she will never ask him to cover for him at work again, which is what he did last night. Not only that, he even fixed the equipment that was completely broken. It's unclear why he decided to fix other people's cars in the middle of the night. It's completely unbelievable that he took up an advanced exoskeleton. He shouldn't be able to do that. He also made acupuncture clients. Where did he even learn this technique from? The guy says he just had nothing better to do, so he decided to do it. The girl says he's a scoundrel, since she should have been the best worker in the store, even if he doesn't even think about going back there. The guy says he just wanted to make her job easier. The girl hangs up, and he thinks she should have thanked him. Jessica writes that he promised to do her homework for her today. He says that he will come to her and do her homework, while simultaneously clearing the shadow world. An empty city, a C-rank shadow world. Alex wonders if the girl really doesn't care how he knows about the extremely rare secret gates to the shadow world and how he found this portal right next to her house. The girl says that she only needs help with her homework now. She doesn't care about the rest. The guy tells them to start doing their homework, but he himself is filled with energy to fight off the attackers. Suddenly, a werewolf emerges from the attacking man and runs towards Alex, preparing to attack. The guy uses the Ice Strike ability on the werewolf, immediately defeating him. Alex asks the girl to give him a silver attack boost and a divine blessing to fight against werewolves. The girl uses her skill and asks if he can handle them. He says it's just a trifle. Foster goes and slashes all the werewolves with one chain of attacks, gaining a new level of 14. With these boosts, he not only became stronger, but also managed to raise 2 levels at once very quickly. He gets 5 times more experience after killing a werewolf. And the 2 boosts he asked for are needed for fighting werewolves. The girl says that he deceived her again, took her with him to quickly cleanse the world of shadows. He doesn't even intend to help her with her homework. Alex says she's right and does help him with the cleanup, but he really wants to help her with her homework. She asks for some problem from her chemistry work and asks for help solving it. He says that this is a very simple task. Let her try to solve it herself, because only by solving problems on their own do they become stronger. Jessica says he's a liar. He asks to renew the spells on him. She says the monsters are gone. It's useless, but Alex says they're going to the next part. The girl renews her blessings again and screams that he treats her like some kind of toy. The guy says that they are there. There are many dark wizards with strong magic in the ravine. Jessica is afraid that he won't be able to handle it, but the guy assures her that it's not a problem and that he will get more experience from the skeleton mages than from the werewolves. Then he will be able to get closer to his plan. Alex says he needs level 21. The girl says they'll have to hang around here for a week then, but the guy says he only has 24 hours. She doesn't understand how he plans to accomplish everything in such a short period of time. The guy says that now he needs 3 boosts: Divine Blessing, Holy Attack, and Lightning Step. And the girl mocks Alex about homework. Jessica says that she hasn't been able to solve the problem for a week. Let him help her. He says that then he will give her a short answer. The guy smashes into crowds of enemies, easily throwing away skeletons that were just about to strike. She says he is a liar and did not answer her. He tells her to look at the other side of the rock. The girl sees a magic square, inside of which is written the formula she needs for her task. She screams. What the hell? He's completely crazy. Sweat is pouring down her face. Her eyes are almost bulging out of their sockets from surprise. There are a lot of skeletons lying around. Alex gets level 17 after this battle. The guy says that it's time for them to go somewhere else because it's become difficult to gain levels here. The girl says that it won't change anything because only the boss is left. Even if he kills him, he's still far from level 21. Alex says that he has his own methods, and the girl needs to use more enhancements, just like last time. She says that she is here to do housework and not to serve him. Guillotine Gorge. A guy helps a girl with her homework, and she asks why he helps her so much if he was going to look for the boss. Alex and Jessica hide behind the coffin. The boss says he's coming, so they need to keep quiet. The world boss Dullahan appears. He is clad in armor and has a purple flame burning where his head should be. The guy says he needs 6 power-ups now, and the girl says it's the legendary headless horseman on a horse. She wearily applies the last of her buffs, but Alex says that he will repay her 1,000 times over in the future. The girl says that she won't believe him now, but warns that even with 100 boosts, he still wouldn't be a match for Dullahan. If the boss touches the guy even once, he will die. He asks not to worry about him, but to do his homework and ask if something is unclear. Dullahan says that the souls of the trespassers will remain here and urges his horse towards his opponents. The boss surrounds himself with a magic shield. Even the main character cannot break through the defense. The girl looks and realizes that Mr. Big Liar's level is too low to break through such a shield. Can they really win? The guy teases his legendary opponent, saying that he can't even reach him. Dullahan throws Alex away, but he tells the girl to just do her business and not worry about him. The girl says that he can't break through the shield either, and if Foster continues like this, he himself will suffer. He says that's why he took Jessica with him. She says that he finally discovered that he is actually Mr. Big Fat Liar. Alex provokes Dullahan into attacking, and as a result of the dash, he gets stuck in a crevice between the rocks. The girl says that the guy really knows how to be mean when he wants to be. She uses a fire attack and says that if Alex doesn't appease her, then she will fry him to hell too, because he is a dirty liar. How can you force such a little girl to burn all his health and then deliver the final blow? How can you be so shameless? He says that there is no such thing on the battlefield. Only victory is important. It's time to get back to work. The guy deals a fatal blow to the enemy, and his level rapidly increases to level 19. The girl says that he screwed up because after killing them, the boss will immediately teleport them back. He will not get his level 21. He asks if she heard the message about clearing the world. Another world boss appears, similar to the one that was just defeated. The girl doesn't understand how a second world boss could appear, but then she realizes that the guy used the light seed on the weapon to revive the boss. The squad repeats the same algorithm, but in an even more perfectly honed form, dealing with the boss in practically one blow. The final boss of the Valley of the Guillotine has been defeated. The shadow world has been cleared. All awakened will be teleported back in 1 minute. The girl says that she is terribly tired, but is glad that this nightmare is finally over. Alex somehow gets the rarest C-class gear from the boss, the Dullahan shield, which is nearly impossible to break. He only says that he can now use it because now he is level 21. With it, the chances of survival of all guild members in the catastrophic level Shadow World increase by 20%. 24 hours until the appearance of the catastrophic level Shadow World, the opponent surrenders to Maria. Amazing, 17 wins in a row. This is also the 17th family that Stark has called on behalf of the family. She has performed a miracle and restored her family's amazing influence to a place among the greatest families in Europe. The girl again receives an invitation to the guild from Alex Foster, but still considers him a liar, despite his powers. Unknown people in masks with a bunch of weapons are going to carry out some big plan of theirs. Patrick appears with a minigun and shoots everyone, shouting that he finally found these bastards, let them all go to hell. He gets a message. He again thinks that these are scammers with health products. He tells them to fuck off. Miss Anya is hosting a press conference dedicated to the 15th generation of their nanomedical robots. With the development of science and technology, nanomedicine technology has always been in the spotlight. The emergence of a new generation of home nanodoctors brings great benefits to the elderly, as well as those who live alone. Anya is about to present their new product, but notices her pursuer in the hall. She asks security to take him out. 2 security guards carry Foster out of the conference room by the arms. He asks to be released. One of the subordinates ponders how her boss manages to recognize him at first sight. Has this guy really been stalking her for so long? With 3 hours left before the appearance of a catastrophic level Shadow World, Alex sits in front of a monitor screen. On the computer in front of him are 4 people: a worried Michael, an inspired Charlotte, a calm Elizabeth, and a sad Jessica. Foster says that he just returned from an important conference. They don't have much time left, and therefore asks everyone to be collected and listen carefully. Alex asks Jessica not to sit on her phone, and she starts to get angry. She constantly has lessons and additional courses, and she can only play on the weekend and therefore is not obliged to listen to him. Walsh finally throws the phone behind his back and listens as Alex explains that in 3 hours, they will all be forcibly moved to a random shadow world of a catastrophic level, any rank A, B, or even C. The 4 listeners cannot believe that everything will be so serious. Only Elizabeth remains stone-faced. Foster warns them that, firstly, they should not go more than 50 meters away from him there, and secondly, in addition to the zones he has designated as safe, they must always remain vigilant. The listeners begin to ask questions about 3 more people who, for some reason, did not join, and apparently do not intend to end up in the same world of shadows as them. Jessica sticks out her tongue and tells the guy she still doesn't believe him, and he tells her that children should be respectful to their elders. A minute before the appearance of the catastrophic level Shadow World, Livesey looks at his army photo. He receives a message that he successfully joined the Dawn Guild. Patrick thinks that he accidentally clicked somewhere. Maria Sparks also receives a message about successfully joining the Dawn. She does not understand how she ended up in the guild of this liar. Anya is sitting in her office when she also receives a message. She realizes that Alex has hacked into the Shadow World system and forcibly made her a member of the guild. She admires the guy's hacking skills. Jessica on the monitor screen angrily speaks about Alex's actions. Because after you join the guild, you can't leave it for 5 minutes? The guy takes this as a compliment. With the countdown clock ticking down to 8 seconds, Foster asks everyone to prepare for forced teleportation into the Shadow World. The guy promises himself that this time he will bring them all back alive. The teleportation begins. Through the scattered light, Foster appears with 2 swords, and behind him are 7 powerful fighters. Maria Sparks is the first to voice her dissatisfaction, calling Alex a shameless bastard. Patrick, with a cigar in his teeth, speaks more politely. He just didn't expect to meet these people again. Fighter Anya refrains from commenting and simply asks everyone to look ahead. A catastrophic C-rank level Shadow World, a metropolis of ice and fire, spreads out before them. No one can believe that they are there. Alex reports that the center of this Shadow World is also known as the Circle of Death, half frozen, half engulfed in flames. The ice and flames continue to spread, and when they engulf the entire city, it will be destroyed. For this reason, Foster gathered them all here in this legendary world of shadows. Death is inevitable. The other awakened flee away from this place, as the Circle of Death spreads too quickly. Alex and his squad go against the general flow. To the center of the city, he notices that a lot of awakened people were teleported to this world of shadows. It's a pity that they are running away, because this way they are closer to their death. Anya notes that even in the shadow world, where death lurks everywhere, one cannot lose hope for survival. Then she asks how he is going to help the 7 of them survive. Foster replies that first they need to understand the essence of this shadow world. What is happening here? Previously, the metropolis of ice and fire was an extremely developed city. Its creator was a scientist, Ironheart, a madman who wanted to gain immense power, modified his body with various technologies to achieve this. But when he was fixing his energy chip, the technology malfunctioned and the chip took over his mind, putting him into a state of rage. Ironheart went mad and the entire city was engulfed in both hellish flames and terrible frost. In short, it was his fault that this happened. Charlotte realizes that this means their job is to defeat the Ironheart. But how are they going to find him? Alex says that he is at the center of this circle of death. Michael wonders how they will get to the center of the circle if they can't even step into it properly. Alex says they have no choice. Maria says that she doesn't trust this strange guy. She says that she and Anya need to leave here. Foster comes up behind her, puts his hand on her shoulder and says they can't leave him. The girl asks what he is talking about. Alex explains that in this shadow world, none of them can go further than 50 meters from him. She wonders why she should listen to him. The guy says that this is the only way they can survive. Sparks slaps him and says that he will leave anyway. And he says that then he will have to calm her down and keep her to himself. The girl says how dare he talk down to her. He says he never did that. He just can't lose her. Anya comes between them and says that now is not the time for the 2 of them to fight. They have more important problems. They must concentrate on clearing out this shadow world while they have a chance. So they must listen to him for now. And if he deceives them, then she will personally kill him. Maria agrees with this. Alex tells Jessica that now is not the time to play games on her phone. She says that she could die at any second. Let her relax. He'd better look at the old man. He drinks all the time. Patrick, tipsy, asks if they are going to fight now. Otherwise, it's time to get to work. No matter how strange their group may look, he swears that he will not let any of them die. Anya asks why Alex decided to go through the fire zone instead of the frost zone. He says that in the frost zone, he would not be able to move so quickly and protect everyone at the same time. The risks are too great. Charlotte complains about the incredible heat because the fire zone is also dangerous. How will they be able to walk through this sea of fire? A guy walks into a city filled with flames and tells them not to worry because he has a plan. Charred mummies walk through the fire. They are clearly extremely hostile, despite the flashes all around. Alex destroys the enemies. Some strange chips fly out of them, but the squad is already leaving. Anya says that these are the same chips that give 3-minute invulnerability to fire, which means that all these monsters are made of technology. She says that they will help them survive. The guy says that's exactly it, but the deadly cycle expands every 30 minutes. If it expands 4 more times, it will cover the entire shadow world. Jessica says that there are only 2 hours left before the destruction of the world. 1 chip is enough for 3 minutes, and there are 8 of them. In order to last 3 hours, you need to get 320 chips. Alex says that it's time for the girl to stop playing and get down to business seriously. She complains that he talks to her as if she were his servant. Many monsters are attacking again. Maria warns everyone about it. The guy says that area reinforcements are needed. The girl agrees and distributes her forces among all her party members. Livesey laughs and says there's no better fight than one that comes after a drink. Everyone makes their attacks, including the boy. Alex tells him to be more careful and not to overdo it with the fury of the beast. There are still 15 minutes left until the new expansion, after which the monsters will be updated to new ones. You need to act quickly. 6 minutes before the expansion, the group asks how many more chips are needed for the team. Anya says that there are still 30 left. They won't have time to collect that many. Alex says that it's time for them to use this thing then and takes out a crystal ball, which turns out to be a magic bait, which is a C-rank item that attracts strong opponents. A giant man-lion chimera appears, a giant monster ready to deal with the squad in the blink of an eye. Alex says that here are their chips, and by the way, the monster brought them some really cool things with them. The boss says it's time for Charlotte. The girl says she will never let him down. She flies into the air, lifts many cars with her telekinetic powers and throws them straight at the enemy, causing them to detonate. The heroes defeat the enemy using their shared skills. Alex notices that they haven't fought side by side for a long time. Some kind of nostalgia immediately attacks. The girl thinks that the guy is starting to talk nonsense again. By the way, a ring fell out of the ring. The hero offers Maria to accept it, but she says that she can't suddenly offer it. She can't agree. The guy says it's a good item for swordsmen. It reduces skill cooldown by 50%. How can you not take something like an A-rank sword oath? The girl blushes and thinks that she seems to have misunderstood everything. Some say that this team from an unknown guild really had a lot of aces up their sleeve. Some guy in a mask with a skull behind Charlotte's back says that they worked hard. Now let them give up all the chips. Maria says she doesn't know who they are, but she'd rather they let her friend go. Elizabeth says that this is the Black Fog, one of the 10 strongest criminal guilds of assassins. They say that they have already destroyed many guilds. They will not repeat. If they want their friend to live, then let them give the chips. Alex asks Anya to give him all their chips with some strange expression on her face. He asks if they'll really give it to him once they get the chips, and he says sure, but warns them that they're surrounded by his people, so no jokes. Alex says that he heard that the Black Fog never lets anyone go alive, but he will trust them, so he will show them how their chips work. The guy says that he should stop being smart and give him the chips right now. Alex says that there is no hurry, he is just buying time, and then he breaks the chips, and there is more and more flame around. Everyone understands that this is a signal and breaks the chips that were in their pockets at that very second. The circle of death begins to expand, and the attackers are quickly consumed by the emerging flames. The girl who was ambushed has a shield. The fire doesn't reach her. She is safe. Jessica realizes that Alex has imbued her with the power of the barrier from the boss. That's how powerful the artifact is. Anya thinks that the guy's strength is terrifying. He was able to come up with a plan in a second, where he would destroy the enemies with deadly fire. It's good that this psychopath is on their side. Alex arrogantly tells them to follow him. Soon they will find themselves in real hell. The squad walks through the destroyed, fiery city, and Michael admires the boss's ability to navigate this place. The guy says that he has been collecting information for 3,000 years, of course. He already knows the route by heart. Maria frowns and snorts, still not believing that Alex is not lying. Charlotte says that it seems that Miss Sparks does not really trust their boss. She does not even approach him. Jessica says that he is very strong, but also mysterious. And Maria is a righteous and sincere girl who hates liars. It is clear that she does not like him. Michael notices that there seem to be some strange people walking in their path as well. Charlotte notices that they seem to be wearing thermal suits. Patrick says that everyone has their own path, but in a place like this, even suits won't help them for long. Anya says that they still have a few chips left, so they can help those poor people. Maria doesn't understand what's going on. Alex asks the team to be quiet, and a catastrophic patrol appears in their line of sight, looking like ancient Egyptian deities. The men in thermal suits open fire indiscriminately on the patrol in fear. A rocket launcher hits one of the patrolmen right in the head, but he doesn't care. With one blow, the monsters completely wipe out the squad in suits from the face of the earth. Alex says that this is a disaster patrol. They have incredible power and regeneration. They are the scavengers of this world. Anya says that if they can't deal with them, then they certainly won't be able to deal with the boss. A large group of monsters passes by. The boss tells his group not to move. He says that he will distract the enemies, and they will quickly run to the center of the circle of death. Alex will catch up with them when they get there. Maria says that it is too dangerous for him to go alone. She asks him to take her with him. Alex knocks out the girl and asks them to take care of her, and he goes on his way. Jessica says that Mr. Big Liar shouldn't die here, but he says that he has been here for 3,000 years. It will be very hard for him to die here. Alex screams at those idiots to come here and runs away from a bunch of huge warriors. The rest say that this is their chance. It is time to intensively move towards the center. Michael notices that the monsters have surrounded the leader behind him, and he has nowhere to run from them. Charlotte says the boss will be fine. They just need to run. They can't miss this opportunity. Patrick says that if the guy manages to survive, he definitely won't refuse to drink with him until he's blue in the face. Alex stabs the sword into the monster's eye, saying that even 10 seconds that they don't regenerate will be enough for him. The boss leaves the warrior and is hit by his allies using a magic beam and melee weapons. After this, the guy flies up, away from the battle, to save his life. Maria appears and grabs the guy's hand, which was just a little short of reaching the roof. Alex asks what she is doing here. She says that he still has the nerve to say this. She is not so weak that she needs someone's protection. She will fight side by side with those who are important to him. They will cover each other. He asks again that he is important to her. She blushes and says that she meant her allies. He remembers the many battles he had been in with her over the past 3 years. Alex grabs the girl and saves her from the beam of fire force as she says she is worried. One of the patrol members fires a hail of fire bullets in the direction of the heroes. The guy carries her in his arms. She says that it seems that she is not of much use. If she had not come, then he would have definitely found another way out of this situation. He denies it, saying that she did him a great favor. She came as always on time as befits his goddess, but next time let her listen to him. Maria and Alex catch up with the team. Michael is glad that they are both okay. Maria tells him to let her go. The guy says that he almost forgot and will do everything now. Charlotte says she thought they both just ran away together. Patrick says that looking at the two of them, in such a troubled time, they should just get married already if they love each other. Sparks blushes deeply and tells her team members to stop talking nonsense. Anya says that a girl like her, who has never been in a relationship, regardless of status, could very well be seduced by this guy. Charlotte notices that their path forward is blocked. Jessica screams that they need to go back as everything around them is collapsing. They can't go any further. Behind us appears the same catastrophic patrol, which is already ready to smear the heroes across the wall. Jessica screams that there is no way back. Are they really going to die here? Alex says that he will not allow any of them to die here, not on his shift. The heroes run up the stairs of the destroyed building. Michael asks why they are running up, and Anya says that no one can understand what Alex has in mind. They just need to follow him. Maria grabs Jessica, who has twisted her ankle. He says that she understood what it is like to be embraced by a goddess. It seems that her life is perfect. If she survives here, then all the guys in the class will be very jealous of her. At this moment, the head of the guild says that they have come to the right place, and a huge metal round door appears in front of them. Maria says that this place suffered the least from the fire. Apparently it is made of special materials. Alex says that this is the command center, which is also the basis of the city's defense. Sparks says they need to hide here because if the patrol catches them, they will all die. Alex reveals that this is not just a cover, but their salvation, and opens the door with his powers. Anya asks how he opened the door. Charlotte laughs and says that their boss knows all the secrets of the galaxy. He even managed to get them into a secret base. Anya asks again, and the unperturbed Alex sighs slightly excitedly. From inside the complex, a catastrophic patrol is visible. For some reason, there is someone standing on the shoulder of one of the warriors. Anya says that this is a puppet crystal and consumables of a special class. It allows you to control unreasonable creatures of any size. They really managed to use them on the disaster patrol. It turns out that this is the same guild that previously harmed the heroes. They do not understand what they want. Patrick says that obviously revenge. Maria says that you can't just sit here and then die. Alex says that this won't happen because this place has been turned into a mechanical fortress for cover. They will not get here in any way. But he likes to counterattack more. Let Jessica come. The guy tells her to follow his instructions, but the girl indignantly shouts out how he can put everything on the shoulders of a child. Maria asks if everything will be okay, but the boss says that Jessica received special training from him, so everything will be fine. The servant tells the leader that the enemies are inside the building, and they will not be able to leave as they are surrounded on all sides. The head of another guild says that they will pay for the death of his deputy. Alex says the girl activated the defensive center fog and limited their field of vision. Now it's his turn. A hero flies out of the building and quickly attacks the attackers while they are blind. The guy attacks the boss straight away, who says he'll go to hell for this. Alex parries the attack with his shield. The enemy doesn't understand why a level 20 awakened without a class was able to defend against his level 40 assassin attack. Foster says his defensive barrier instantly blocks all attacks of level 50 and below. The guy kills the boss. Everyone shoots to get revenge, but all the bullets hit their own leader. Elizabeth appears and shoots all the enemies on the shoulders of giants. Alex uses the puppet artifact to take control of the disaster patrol. The whole team says that the boss is really cool. Charlotte says that she really wants to follow him for the rest of her life and be his servant. Jessica says that she is stupid. She would rather marry him. He says that he will send this whole bunch of giants to the location of the final boss later and let the rest wait here. Maria says it is extremely dangerous to go there alone, trying to get to him again. Alex asks Anya to look after Sparks for him. He asks to believe him soon he will pull everyone out of this world of shadows. Maria looks sadly after the guy. Anya says that their attacks won't even damage the Iron Heart. They'd better just wait here. He really might be capable of that miracle. Patrick says that the guy will definitely return alive, since they have already decided to have a drink together. 30 minutes until the last expansion, some heroes are in the cold zone. Some kind of explosion almost completely covers the squad of fighters, who only miraculously protect themselves from the attack. The robotic enemy says no targets have been detected while surveying the area from above. A multitude of robots circle above the center of the circle of death, ready to destroy anything. One of the heroes wonders what they should do, since out of the 100 people who were here, only 3 made it here. The girl says that she underestimated the horror of Iron Heart. It was her mistake. They could not find his real body, so their entire group was destroyed by just a few robots that he mass produces. The other girl says that it's not her fault. All they can do is attack the Iron Heart. Otherwise, they will become easy prey, if only Alston were here. The girl says that their guild is too big for them all to be transported to the Shadow World. But there is no point in talking about it now. The final expansion will begin soon. The heroes say that the end is near, but at that moment they see a crowd of giant cataclysmic patrol approaching here. They don't understand what's going on. Why all the disaster patrols are coming here? Did they really decide to deal with all the awakened ones at once? The arriving enemies begin to catch the robots and squeeze them like annoying insects, dealing with the cyber threat. The robots start shooting back, but it's useless against the patrol's regeneration, while the fire beams easily destroy the enemies. The second group of heroes does not understand why the disaster patrol started a battle with the robot army. They notice that this is the work of the newbie who killed the final boss in the City of Dark Ruins. An alarm is raised in the Steel Heart building, and the autonomous defense system is activated. The patrol deals with huge forces of robots without causing significant damage to combat units. The squad realizes that this is the last group of robots. The guy managed to completely destroy the army of robots, sacrificing 2/3 of the catastrophic patrol. They think about how last time the guy wasn't even level 10, how he became so strong so quickly. A level 20 newbie took on Ironheart, the final boss of the Shadow World of catastrophic level. He imagined himself a god or something. Alex's guild understands that the final battle for the city will soon begin. Charlotte believes that he will succeed. The boss orders the disaster patrol to attack the Sky Tower and destroy the Iron Heart. The warriors destroy a giant building. Steel Heart appears there. The floor gives way from under his feet. He begins to fall. He takes off and wonders how some pathetic bunch of weak and dirty living creatures dared to stand in the way of him, who is at the pinnacle of evolution. One of the warriors points his battle axe straight at Steelheart. He says that this attack is too slow and hits the patrolman in the chest with its momentum, sending him flying. He then deals with the next giant monster by punching it right through, leaving a gaping hole in its body. Steelheart says that their attacks are just ridiculous. He decides to show them real power and fires a bunch of missiles that tear apart the bodies of the disaster patrol. This truly terrifies the hero squad. The attacks of the cataclysmic patrol cannot penetrate his shield. He simply destroys them. The last warrior strikes the shield's surface with his hammer, causing it to crack, much to Steelheart's surprise. Alex runs over the patrolman's body and jumps straight off the hammer and charges. Foster drives the blade into the crack, sending out a blast of high-frequency particle vibration, shattering the barrier into tiny pieces, shocking the world boss. A man from the hero squad wonders where this guy was able to get a vibranium sword, which is the material of the Shadow World. The boss dodges Alex's attack and asks how a despicable man dares to attack him so vilely. The guy offers to fight him directly if he doesn't like surprise attacks so much. Alex takes out his shield and uses a 100-fold magnetic absorption force. The enemy is simply pulled towards the shield and stretched on it. The hero says that he got this magnetic shield from a company developing an army of robots and installed it so that it would be aimed only at him. Steelheart uses a light arc discharge and emits multiple red waves. From such an attack, Alex flies back, and the shield breaks into several pieces across the battlefield. Steelheart wonders if this is really all he has. He is too weak. The guy says that he has one more present and points somewhere with his finger. The enemy turns around and sees a double energy cross in the sky heading towards him. Steelheart's body is found smashed into the floor with severe wounds, requiring a power source to activate full restoration. Everyone understands that Alex was able to activate the Absolute Star Cannon, which requires a satellite key. They do not understand how he managed to gain such power in this world. The squad sees a huge disc in the sky. Charlotte notices that the final expansion is about to begin. Jessica says that she activated the star cannon as Mr. Liar asked. But as long as the source of the iron heart exists, it will constantly regenerate. She does not understand what to do next. Steelheart says that he has won the battle because in a minute the circle of death will engulf this entire world, after which everyone will die except him. Foster takes out the egg and thanks him for hatching into this blazing hot world. Now it's his turn to shine. The boss of the city of Dark Ruins, a giant with steel wings, appears from the egg. Now everyone understands what trump card Alex had. The giant advances on the Steelheart. The boss of this world says that all attempts at resistance are futile. He shoots his guns at the steel wings, but it doesn't respond to the bullets at all. He takes out his tentacles and wraps them around the enemy. The giant slowly squeezes Steelheart. The countdown is ending. Everyone is worried and asking for victory. When 6 seconds remain, Alex orders the monster to absorb his energy source. Steel Wings uses its tentacles to pull the boss's heart out and eat it. The final boss of the Ice and Fire Metropolis has been destroyed. The Shadow World has been cleared, and all awakened ones will be teleported back within 1 minute. The people from the Ark are delighted. They think that the giant with steel wings has returned to the egg form to absorb the energy, after which he will become much more dangerous than the Iron Heart. Maria is sincerely glad that Alex was able to do this. Now she is no longer so sure that the guy's words about 3,000 years are a lie. Anya just exhales and is glad that she survived. The happiest of all are Michael and Charlotte, who believed in their boss 100%. Jessica notes that it was hard for her. As soon as she returned, she would play games all night. Foster realizes that the way things are set up, the next shadow world they enter will be much worse, and all the knowledge he has will be useless. After teleporting, Alex looks at his stats, which have increased greatly after the catastrophic world. For passing the metropolis of ice and fire, Foster received an atomic battle sword. This weapon needs to be charged. The guy does not understand how to do this, because he might need the electricity of an entire city. Alex decides that he will do this later, since now he is just tired. He sits down to rest. A girl notices Foster and says that she feels sorry for such lonely people on Valentine's Day. Her boyfriend notices that she shows too much compassion for people, and that Loner doesn't even deserve the attention of such a beauty. The whole crowd of people pays attention to the walking figure. Someone notices that this is the most beautiful girl that anyone in this world wants to date. No one is her equal. Surrounded by a crowd of men, the goddess Maria Sparks appears in a sparkling dress. Someone says that she should be in Europe now, and for some unknown reason, she flew to their city. Another guy notices that the son of the richest man in the city does not stop trying to win her over. Perhaps she changed her mind and decided to give him a chance. But to everyone's surprise, this girl approaches the very same guy whom no one had noticed until recently. She says that she brought coffee as he asked. Let him drink it before it gets cold. Everyone around is in incredible shock. The goddess flew halfway around the world to bring this bastard coffee. My God. She was just being kind to this homeless bastard by buying him coffee. He says she's late and then invites her to sit with him. People around are wondering how Maria Sparks can be so close to this poor guy. He says he didn't know dating her in the real world would be so difficult. She apologizes and says she didn't expect it to be like this. Alex takes Maria by the hand and says that they need to find another place. The girl blushes. They run into an alley. The hero presses the girl against the wall, causing her to blush excessively. The people around them try to chase them, but they run past that alley, so the crowd quickly moves away from their location. She asks why he called in such a hurry and asked for a meeting. He says that she will find out everything soon. The girl asks why she is driving. Alex says that he simply does not have a driver's license in the real world. The guy says they're going to his student meeting. She'll have to pretend to be his girlfriend there. She blushes and says she's never been in a relationship before, although it doesn't really matter whether he was serious about asking her to fly halfway around the world for this. He says she's already been in one, for starters, and she says he's going on about his 3,000 loop again. He also adds that it's just for one time, and he'll tell her why her family's 5-hit series always fails on the last hit. She asks if it's true, he can fix it. When their mission is over, he will give her a solution. He says that after meeting his classmates, she will say that she was the one pursuing him and didn't give up even after he rejected her. Then, they finally got together. Alex puts his hands behind his head and says that it's just a game. Let her try to practice with him, she agrees, but only this time. She says that she admits that she was the one who pursued him even after he rejected her. But they finally started dating after she didn't give in and continued pursuing him, so please don't let him leave her. Onlookers say that the goddess is also bowing down to someone. Another says that he can't stand this life and throws his phone on the asphalt. She asks if his classmates gather here. He says he was joking, and this is the largest trading center for awakened people in Asia. Here you can trade items obtained in the shadow world. In addition, auctions are also organized here, in which different guilds participate. To join the auction, one had to be a high-ranked awakened, which was why he called her. They enter the building. Everyone around does not understand what the goddess is doing here, and especially in such company, is this guy walking too close to her. He says they need to get this straight. He has no money at all, so he'll have to rely on him to buy the items. She says she knew going with him was a bad idea. She says she'll still be his girlfriend today. Everyone says that they would dream of being in this guy's place to be Maria's lover. Who is he? They walk through the awakened shopping mall. Some man invites people to look at rare items from the shadow world. Let them buy now so they don't regret it later. Alex picks up what looks like a Rubik's Cube and asks how much it will cost. The seller says that the guy has a keen eye for goods. This is an A-rank item, a mechanical cube. You won't find anything like this anywhere else. A-rank goods cost at least 800,000 coins, but he's selling it for only 100. Alex says that this price is too high because it is just an ordinary accessory. The man says that the meeting is destined by fate, so he will make a 10% discount. Here is the selling price. And the guy can also try to unlock this cube for only 1,000 coins. If he succeeds, he can take it for free. Alex tells the girl to give him 1,000, and she does so with a slightly displeased expression. The man says he won't return the money if it fails. Many people tried. Even several magic cube professionals of expert rank came. No one succeeded. Alex, with a straight face, reports that he had already unlocked the cube while the man was speaking. Everyone looks at him in shock as he manages to do this, and some kind of hologram flies out of the cube. Everyone understands that this thing costs as much as a C-rank item. The man asks to wait. He cannot sell such an expensive thing so cheaply. Alex asks why. Does he really want to break his word? The guy says that the merchant should watch who pays from now on. If suddenly the goddess complains about him, then they will take away his awakened certificate. The girl looks at the seller intently and calmly. He humbles himself and says that this is not what he meant at all. Maria wonders if his hidden profession is a master of the magic cube. The guy agrees. The cube is also a good way to kill time on boring days, and it is also very useful. The girl says that the guy didn't choose any class. Does he really have some secret? He says that now is not the time to think about it. They have more important things. She sighs and asks if he doesn't just want her to pay for his things. Alex buys a B-rank Night Void Kindle, a B-rank Desert Wolf Pistol, a C-rank Alpha Mutation Growth Pill, and a C-rank Pain Knuckle. The girl says she can no longer carry the things he bought. Onlookers think what a wonderful life this guy has. The goddess pays for everything he takes. Someone says that they never thought that an exceptionally brilliant goddess could be so in love. The girl says that he bought so many things at once. What does he plan to do with them now? Alex only says that she will understand everything soon. A man appears. He says that he and the goddess have not seen each other for a long time. She did not even say that they were in this city. They are not strangers after all. Maria, shocked, asks who this guy is. Alex just looks on calmly. The guy says he is Robin Stone, the deputy leader of the Spider Guild, and they once met her along with the leader. The girl remembers that their guild is not even in the world ranking of 100, so she did not remember them. As for its leader, Carl Johnson, she never spoke to him. Why should she remember this guy? Robin says he just came to ask what she didn't like about her brother Sean so much that she chose this guy instead. He only bought B and C rank items. All that trash from the shadow world. What a pity that he is too poor. When someone is willing to help with the shopping, he can only take low-level items. The guys behind Robin say that the couple didn't care about him enough to leave. Alex, putting his arm around Maria's waist, leaves. The girl is very embarrassed. The host announces that before the main auction, there will be a 15-minute private auction organized by Miss Sparks, who holds a Black Awakened certificate. The listeners are not happy that the goddess sells her personal items for a useless guy. Someone says that for a girl in love, there is nothing unusual about this. The screen shows two people. Granny Lynn, the leader of the Puppet Clan, ranked 105th in the World Guild rankings, and Huey Bai, the deputy of the Icebreaker Guild, ranked 94th in the World Guild rankings. Foster appears at the head table. He thanks everyone for participating in the surprise auction of the goddess Sparks, says that they do not have much time. 5 personal items of Maria will be presented. The first one he shows is the Night Void Dagger, a B-rank weapon with the special feature of increasing damage by 0.5 at night. The auction participants consider the dagger to be trash, calling Alex names, saying that he will destroy the goddess's reputation. Huibai agrees with everyone. Some start to get up and leave, so as not to waste their time. Foster reports that every item in the Shadow World has a chance of having a certain hidden feature, and all the items that Maria represents have it. Robin says that hidden features are incredibly rare. Alex doesn't even have the right to make any claims about the features of this shitty dagger without proof. Foster smirks and then disappears, leaving everyone wondering where he went. Alex appears behind Stone and holds a dagger to his throat. He tells the guy that the hidden feature of the Night Void Dagger is the ability to hide in the shadows for 1.5 seconds. The number of uses of the dagger is 6. The audience enthusiastically notes that this dagger is the best weapon for assassins. It has 5 more uses left. It can save lives so many times, someone is ready to buy the dagger. Foster, letting Robin go, says that the dagger can only be purchased by participating in the auction. And since this is the first item, Alex is ready to make a discount. The starting price is 100,000 awakened coins. The price quickly rises to 800,000. The officer from the Ark notices that the guy is very cool, and everything she heard about him is true. Stone realizes that this useless guy actually has a divine weapon for him, but he just made fun of him and is too nervous to participate in the auction. Robin decides that he will not buy any of his items, even if he dies of hunger or on the streets. The Night Void Dagger is bought for 5 million. He congratulates the generous participant. Stone is very unhappy, since it was he who bought this dagger. He understands that reputation is much more important, but he could not resist. Some girl doesn't understand where this guy came from and how he's so good at selling useless items at such a high price. Alex announces the second item in their auction, which turns out to be the Storm Cloak, a C-rank item with the special ability to increase speed. The participants are indignant that the rank is decreasing, and the cloak looks completely ordinary. This time Foster suggests getting straight to the point. He says that the cloak's hidden feature is the ability to see spirits for up to 10 seconds every 3 hours. With this cloak, the chances of survival are greatly increased. Perfect for swordsmen. Starting price is 1 million. All guilds have swordsmen. So many are interested in the cloak. The price quickly rises to 3 million. Granny Lynn's voice comes from the screen and surprises all the contestants by offering 15 million. The officer is shocked by the absurdity of the situation. A C-rank item is sold at a C-rank price. Alex hits it with a hammer. The cloak is sent to the Puppet Clan. Robin's friend notices that Foster not only relies on sparks, but can also raise the price of useless items to enormous values. Stone promises himself not to make another bet. Alex says that as everyone knows, when an awakened reaches level 20, he can choose a class for himself, and when he reaches level 50, he can upgrade his class to a mid-rank. Foster opens the chest and announces that their third item in today's auction is related to the upgrade. Inside is a B-rank Crystal Skull, an alternative to the Holy Grail of Power, an A-rank item required for level 50 warriors who wish to upgrade to mid-rank. Starting price is 5 million. The room explodes again. The price shoots up. The officer realizes how cool this item is and offers 10 million. Stone can't take it anymore and starts shouting that he's already being offered 15 million anyway. A war begins between Robin and the officer, betting on each other, reaching 25 million. But then Hugh Bai enters their confrontation with a bet of 35 million. The whole room is shocked by such a high stake. Someone notices that Bai left, but for some reason returned again. Alex thanks Bai for the purchase he made and is about to show the next item. He says that he will show 2 items at once, and this will be the finale. Robin convinces himself that he won't bet even if the item is god level. Otherwise, it will turn out to be a dog. His friend thinks that 2 pieces of trash will be presented now. Alex first shows off an A-rank magic spirit ring that increases magic power by 3%, with a hidden ability that instantly casts mid-level magic that can be used once every 30 days. The second item is a C-rank Ice Flame Potion, after using which heat and cold are equally distributed throughout the body. The hidden feature is that when mixed with 1 drop of the substance of revival magic, it can instantly fully restore mana. Maria thinks that the ring can be used by mages up to level 80, for whom this item is a real cheat. And the Frost Flame Potion is a very rare treasure for the magic class. Alex throws his hands up in delight, saying that this is the last chance to buy something worthwhile. The starting price is 10 million. The first to raise is Robin Stone, who just promised himself he wouldn't, offering 20 million. Granny Lin from the screen joins in after him with a bet of 30 million, followed by Hui Bai with 40 million. For many viewers, this increase in stakes leaves no chance to compete for items. Members of large guilds are too rich. Robin loudly announces a new bet of 45 million, but his rivals are not far behind. Hugh offers 50 million, Granny Lin 60 million. Stone can no longer resist these rich woke people from the screens. He doesn't have that much money. Huey Bai gives up. Alex starts hammering away at Granny Lin's bet, who is very pleased. On the third strike, an officer from the Ark bursts in and bets 75 million. Granny Lin admits defeat. The items are sent to the Ark. The officer really hopes that she will be able to please the leader with them. Alex bows and thanks everyone for participating in the auction of Goddess Spark's personal belongings. After Foster leaves the stage, a figure of Alston is projected onto it, saying that he must have arrived too late. Everyone is delighted by the appearance of the strongest awakened in the world. The officer asks in fear why he came here. Foster remembers everything he saw in the shadow world, what the demon Alston did. He tells him with a polite face that he hopes he will take part in the next auction of Spark's personal effects. But the guy himself is just trying to calm down so as not to show Alston his true intentions. The demon savior turns to Alex and says that he would like to ask him one question. He asks if they have seen each other before. Foster replies negatively, but Alston says that he remembers everything that happened in the City of Dark Ruins. Alston distances himself from the guy. They both replay one night in their heads and break up. The demon destroys the city and kills absolutely everyone. Alex crawls out from under the rubble. The leader of the Ark enthusiastically announces that it is useless to resist and begins to burn the ground under the guy's feet with beams from his eyes. Foster approaches Alston, begins to choke him, but he pushes the guy away and kills him. Darkness. Alex wakes up in his bed in a cold sweat. 3 days have passed since that auction, but he still has that nightmare. Before parting ways at the auction, Alston thanked Foster for saving the people from the Ark in the City of Ice and Fire. The guy was glad that the demon did not notice his intentions, and Alex was even able to acquire what he wanted without being noticed. He takes out a box from under the bed. It contains 2 items, a C-rank copy crystal purchased for 90 million, which can copy any A-rank item, and an A-rank charger for 20 million, which can charge any electronic device. Alex notices that the crystal also has a hidden ability, which will be super useful in the future. It can also be used to copy a C-rank item once. Foster is now level 30. It's almost time to say goodbye to all those major and minor skills. It's time for him to take a step into a new world by changing his class. The guy understands that Alston is extremely strong. In order to cope with this monster who wanted to become a god and save his friends, he needs to become stronger very quickly. Alex receives a message from Jessica. The girl thanks the guy for sending her the Soul Collection ring, an A-rank item that allows 20 times the instant use of medium-strength magic and increases the power of magic by 7%. The guy replies that there is no need to thank him, since he has already written off 200 million from her account for the ring and another 20 for the work. Jessica is furious. Patrick sits and examines the gravity chip, a B-rank item that, when equipped to a mechanical axe, increases attack by 15% and also allows instant use of gravity. Michael examines the A-rank madness crystal. When used, it allows the copy to enter a state of extreme madness. The boy believes that if he uses it, the world will be destroyed. Elizabeth received Black Widow Kill from Alex, a C-rank item. It is a silencer that adds a poison effect and deals extra damage to giant creatures. The girl calls the guy and says that she just received the item and asks him not to send her anything else. A subordinate of fighter Ani knocks on Alex's door and asks him to come down with her quickly, since her boss doesn't like to wait for others. Foster asks not to rush him, otherwise, as soon as he becomes the husband of her director, the first one he will fire will be her. Alex is sitting in a limo with Anya and her subordinate. The fighter asks why he is taking so long. The guy replies that usually people wait to meet her, so he thought it wouldn't hurt her to experience this feeling. Anya says that she is only helping him as payment for saving him in the City of Ice and Fire, and to pay off her debt for the top-level treasure with the lightning effect that he gave her. Foster realizes that the item is not that good since he himself upgraded this C-rank knuckle duster. Fighter Anya says that now they are even, but Alex thinks she is too cold. The girl says that they are not close enough to be so familiar. She asks the guy to stop acting like they are old friends. The guy notices that he knows what color underwear the girl is wearing, She gets very embarrassed and calls the guy a bastard. All three of them are flying on a plane. Anya understands that perhaps this ridiculous idiot is the most reliable person in this dangerous world. The subordinate doesn't understand why they switch from a car to a helicopter again and again. This guy makes the boss spend so much money. What is he really trying to achieve, and for what purpose? Besides, Anya treats him too well? Is she really going to marry him? Alex senses that the secretary is curious about what is going on here. He explains that he needed to get here to do a very important job. The plane lands near some destroyed building. There are a lot of workers on the site. One of the workers approaches President Anya, tells her that they dug day and night, so they managed to get to the bottom. Anya thanks him. Near the huge hole, the secretary asks the guy if this is exactly what he wanted, since Anya spent a lot of money on it. Foster throws up his blue cube, which immediately disassembles, illuminating the entire passage. The guy says that some of the higher-level shadow gates only appear in certain places. Then he burps down and warns that you don't need to follow him. He'll be back soon. Alex finds himself in the class world of shadows, near the Tower of the Sage, which is very similar to the Leaning Tower of Pisa. An elderly man appears in front of him. All in white and with a blue staff, he greets the guy. Then, out of nowhere, a man with a red staff appears and asks the awakened one negatively why he is here. Foster replies that he came to the Sage's Tower because it is the only shadow world where hidden classes can be obtained. The man in black warns the boy that the mortality rate of people driven by greed in this world is 85%. An old man in white offers a reckless youth to look at the list of hidden classes. Of all the options, Alex chooses the classless one. The men are shocked by this choice. The old man notes that this test is the most difficult in the entire Sage's Tower. If he fails, the guy will be destroyed. Foster says that he knows all this and asks to start the test. The old man shows the door and wishes the guy good luck. Alex leaves, and the men begin to discuss how, out of the 1,000 people who had previously chosen the classless trial, only one had managed to pass it using a C-rank item. The masters, looking after the guy, are still not sure that he will not be able to perform a miracle. The other says that he will definitely find his death here, and if he does not die on the first level, then he will be the servant of the second all his life. Heavenly Arena, the test of strength is about to begin. The test subject is asked to prepare. The victory condition was to defeat the unstoppable Cyclops. Alex was already prepared for this. The monster rushes at the guy, using all its strength and swinging at him. The masters watch the events happening in the ball. The old man in white does not understand what is happening. The man in black thinks that this idiot is trying to outsmart the Cyclops. He is just digging his own grave. Alex lunges forward, striking straight into the Cyclops' huge blue eye. After some machinations by the guy, the Cyclops is already flying flat to the ground in an uncontrolled fall. The winner stands in the ruined arena over his defeated opponent. The test of strength is complete. The portal to the next level is open. The old man says that the boy dealt with the Cyclops in a rather clever way. And the man looks confused and says that before that, he meant that he would be a servant for an hour if the boy passed the first level. But if he passed the second level, then for life, even though he passed the first level using cunning, only true strength can help him further. The man says that hell begins on the next level, and the guy slowly and stately walks into the portal. It's time for the speed test. Alex is asked to get ready. The competition will require racing with the spirit of the wind, Sylphide, and winning. When she runs, powerful whirlwinds will form. If the test subject falls off the road, he will end up in the damned hell. The wind spirit reaches the speed of sound in 5 seconds, and then its speed increases by 5% every 10 seconds, not to mention that it is an awakened one even without a class. Even if he is a top-level assassin who put everything into agility, he still cannot overtake Sylph. He will go to hell. Alex gets into a low starting position, ready to race with Spirit. Sylphide says that competing with a pathetic man is simply ridiculous for her, but this is also the greatest moment in his life, so let him remember it. The guy uses high-frequency particle vibration on the Spirit. She is in a strong rage about what happened. The man can't put words together. He says it's a scam. And the old man says he used a weapon from the technological world. And they didn't specify in the rules that the test subject can't kill the opponent, so it's not a scam. He is the only participant left in the race. No matter how fast or slow he is, he will be the winner. The speed test is complete. Alex crosses the finish line. The teleport gate to the next test has been activated. The man in black says that it is not fair. He cannot pass the third test. If he wins again, He will be a servant to the old man in white for 3 lives. He says that he does not need to do this. The test of wisdom is about to begin. Alex is getting ready. 8 doors correspond to 8 ancient mysterious sealed objects. Time, 15 minutes. During this time, you need to unseal all the objects and get out of the cube, which will be completely swallowed by lava. The hero stands in front of the doors, wondering what he should do first. The old man says that he can't spend more than 2 minutes on each item. A high-level cube usually takes at least 6 minutes. There are more than 3,000 operations. The chain of 7 tangrams is a death trap. One must be extremely concentrated when handling it. If one makes a mistake, an explosion will occur that can destroy a city with a population of 1 million people. This is a test that goes beyond the limits of human capabilities, except for the highest level awakened with the class of solving secrets. Everyone else died. The old man wants to say something, but the man tells him not to be so naive. No tricks will help in this test. The man laughs that the guy took the death trap right away, and then realizes in shock that the guy took 2 items at once. The chain of 7 tangrams requires extreme concentration, and the old man says that he was wrong about the guy because he is too reckless if he tries to do 2 things at once. This guy solved the chain of 7 tangrams in just 46 seconds, and at the same time he also created a magic cube. 2 minutes 27 seconds. The mysterious Pandora's box was completed. 5 minutes 12 seconds. The high-level magic cube was completed. 1 minute 16 seconds. The ancient Babylon chain was completed. Men don't believe this guy is human. They think he's a robot. 10 minutes 20 seconds, all subjects completed. Without any skills, using only his head and hands, he was able to pass. This is the best result in history. The test of wisdom is complete. Alex thinks he has done it so many times that he can do it with his eyes closed. The old man asks if the man will bet on the next test. He says that of course, if the guy goes further, the man in black will turn into a dog. The guy completes the endurance test without any problems. The dog barks that this is a week-long survival test with roaming zombies. Why is it over in less than a day? The old man says that he simply revealed the truth of this world. The earth was the sky. He destroyed the sky, so the sunlight poured out and purified the whole world. The old man in white says that the dog needs to turn back. She says that this is the last test. If the guy does not die, then he will never turn back. The test of perception is about to begin. The boy is asked to prepare. The requirement of the test is to overcome all classes of the shadow world. Alex turns away from the crowd of shadow entities and runs in the other direction. The old man says that when one man goes against the crowd of all existing classes, flight is indeed the best plan of action. As naively as he is, he will die in an even more terrible way. The guy disappeared somewhere. The shadows are trying hard to find him. They understand in which direction he went. One of them steps on a mine, and several entities are immediately blown up, leaving almost nothing of themselves. Some kind of pylon flies out of the bushes, and all the people around receive a solid electric shock from this device. The next group of warriors disappears into a laser trap, hitting a sensor and also being blown up by a bomb. The man asks, gravity mines, Tesla coils, stationary machine guns, how he brought all these things with him into the magician's tower. The old man says that the guy was very well prepared, as if he knew in advance how to pass all the tests. Alex jumps out of the bushes and attacks a group of fighters, cutting down several with one blow. The man in black says that he has no more tricks left. Now he is nothing more than prey being hunted. The guy says that when the hunt begins, a true artist can sometimes pretend to be the prey. The man says that now it's all over for Alex. He ran to the top of the mountain to simply be surrounded and killed. The crowd chases the guy, but then there is an explosion. The rock falls on the opponents, crushing them with its weight. The men don't believe that the guy seriously blew up the entire mountain with bombs. How many weapons did this bastard bring here? 30% of them are still alive. They retreat, waiting for the right moment to attack. He will not pass the test anyway, and the old man says that it is too late to retreat. Alex finds the man and says that he has found the master of the game. The main thing in this test is to deal with the one who pulls the strings. Then all the shadows will disappear. The man tries to deny it, but the guy says he doesn't care. He'll kill him anyway. The man dies. The perception test is complete. The rat that was the man in black is furious. The old man in white asks the rodent to turn back because he is disgracing him. The man in black turns back into himself, classless. This is the strongest hidden class. They must conduct additional hell-level tests. This time, he himself will be the one to test this brat. If he wants this class so badly, he better be prepared to give his life for it. The old man in white says that his partner's hatred for this test subject is too great. Alex emerges from the blue turquoise gate, realizing that this is clearly not the end. Some kind of building. The sky is red, a man in black appears, whirlwinds are swirling around. The guy understands that when he passes this test, everything will be over. The man invites Alex to a hidden test, asks him to get down to business. A guy with a satisfied face greets the master in black, raising his hand. The man says that, in truth, he has worked hard, going far beyond his expectations. But that is all. In the final test, he will have to face him in a one-on-one fight. The master turns into a dragon and says that only by defeating it will he be able to pass the tests to become a classless one. A giant black dragon shoots out a red laser beam and orders everyone to tremble before it. Something appears and makes an ice shield right in front of the guy, protecting him. The black dragon says it's time for the boy to face a real trial. Alex dodges multiple magical blasts fired by the dragon. The black enemy says that the resistance of a small puppy will only make his death more painful. He can do nothing in the face of true strength. The guy says that the master knows nothing about true power and calls a huge disaster patrol to help him. Alex orders the troops to deal with his problem. One of the soldiers pulls a laser bow and shoots at the dragon. A hail of laser fragments from an arrow flying into the sky covers the dragon, but he ignores the damage and tries to burn out new opponents. Multiple laser shots pierce the dragon's wings. He says that stupid humans do not understand that he is a real destroyer of worlds and prepares his powerful attack. The dragon takes off and says that they will all burn in his flames. But one of the warriors runs and throws a pilum straight towards the most terrible threat from the sky. The spear throwing misses completely. The dragon laughs that he missed. It's a pitiful sight. Alex shouts in front of his opponent, who said he missed, and heads straight towards his opponent. The dragon is shocked to realize that the guy did this on purpose for his own purposes. The guy takes the spear in his hands and points it at the dragon using an atomic strike, injecting a solid discharge of electricity directly into its body. The dragon fell to the ground, defeated by the catastrophic attack that was unexpectedly directed at him. The final test is completed. Alex receives a hidden class, classless. Now he is able to learn the abilities of any class. The man in black is sweating and doesn't understand how he could lose. It's impossible. The old man in white congratulates the young man on setting a new record and says that he is the only one among thousands who managed to obtain this hidden class. Alex wonders about the hidden reward and sees a yellow circle appear next to him. It turns out to be a C-rank summoning emblem. It allows you to summon any creatures from previously completed trials in battle, but the item can only be used once. Alex says that this is not bad and decides to choose a group of 100 classes that he fought earlier. Alex also masters a hidden skill, the Sea of Knowledge Seal, which protects the soul, preventing anyone from reading his memories. The guy remembers that Alston has the ability to read other people's memories. The guy finally got a way to protect himself from this. Now he needs to quickly become stronger and defeat him as soon as possible. Alex drives up to Anya's secretary and tells her to relax. He will raise her salary when he marries her boss. She thinks that the boss is hard to deal with. Can he really do it? Alex remembers that he hasn't eaten for a long time and asks the girl to order some food for him from the Star River restaurant. He will send the address later, and also let him not forget to write it down on his boss's account. She is on a diet, so she spends little on food, which means that she clearly has enough of the budget allocated for food. The guy sits at the table and prepares a large set of the received food, eating it. At that moment, he receives a message on his phone. Jessica writes to him and says that her cat is pregnant, and everyone around her is acting like children. He thinks that she probably needs more homework. The girl asks why they don't play. Alex invites her to play a real game in the Shadow World in London. She tells him to find someone else because she can't miss school now. She has a mock exam soon. He thinks that this directly concerns the chance of the human race successfully clearing the final Shadow World. Alex looks at the photo and says that even though his brother died in the Shadow World, there is no way to fix it, but he promised that he would definitely do it for the sake of peace and harmony throughout the world. A city where cars fly in the sky. Alex and Michael arrive at the station by train, along with Charlotte and Elizabeth. Charlotte was eager to travel abroad for the first time, always wanting to know what it was like to be an international gangster. Everyone is wondering why they have gathered here. Alex in stylish glasses says that it is all for an important matter that will determine the future destiny and future of this world. The guild is traveling in a mobile base. Kepler asks if anyone can explain to him where exactly they are going and why. Charlotte says that as soon as they arrived in London, they got on this suspicious thing that looked like a prisoner transport. Where were they actually going? She realizes that after appearing in this car, she has no phone reception, and Alex says that the place they are going to is very important. The girl thinks that they are probably heading to some extremely secret place, but due to lack of information, she cannot even imagine where. Alex says they're going to be guarding someone. Charlotte asks who this mysterious person is, but not to say it's someone like the Prime Minister. He says that she is more important than the Prime Minister. Her existence will affect the survival of their entire world. Michael says that the importance of this task is simply enormous, and the girl says that only the existence of the boss can influence their world. She will never agree that someone can be much more important than him. They arrived at the scene. There are several more of these cars. They are moving out. Charlotte doesn't understand what kind of people they are, why they have such a murderous aura. Alex says that they are from the Devouring Light, one of the top 10 assassin groups in the world. Each member is a master in a certain field. Their security services are the best of the best, available only to the most influential people. Michael's eyes light up as he looks at the members of the Heavenly Shield Guild in real life. Their captain, known as the Shield God, looks like a great hero. There are some people standing there in masks and suits. They welcome everyone to London. They say that the people here are the elite of the elite in the field of security services. It is a great honor for them to see them at a defensive test. Charlotte says her boss is amazing. He can literally get access to anything he wants. He asks to let the selection begin. The first test is simple. They will need to enter one of 3 doors and find the exit. The first 10 teams to complete the task will advance to the next round. They have 3 minutes to choose. If they do not enter within this time, they will be eliminated. He reminds them that they could lose their lives in this test. Everyone is confused. They don't understand which door to choose, because if they make a mistake now, the consequences can be catastrophic. Someone says they heard there are surveillance masters in the Devouring Light. Maybe just pick the same door as them. The man from the Devouring Light rolls the dice and goes to the first door. Elite fighters are divided into groups and then gather at the information gathering point. They line up in several columns and enter through 3 doors in groups of equal numbers. Other people understand that it makes no difference, because if they don't enter right now, they will be disqualified. Charlotte says that it's time for boss to make a decision, because time is running out. Alex says that they will start once they look at the map of the maze. Michael asks if they're going to get a map, and the boss says he'll do it himself and sends off a bunch of yellow balloons with wings. Creatures fly into all the doors. This is an object of the world of shadows of B-Ring, mechanisms that scan the area, a device that allows you to create a map of the area. Someone is worried whether they will make it in time, but a map of the labyrinth is already located in front of them on a hologram. Charlotte says it's very big, and Elizabeth adds that the paths are constantly moving, so a map won't help. Alex tells her to relax. He's already been through this maze over 10,000 times. Now that he has a map of the structure, no matter how many times it changes, he can pass it even with his eyes closed. Charlotte says that as long as she follows the boss, there's nothing to worry about. It's incredible. The girl asks the director if this is considered cheating. He says that they don't have a rule that prohibits it. So no problem. This group of people with no security experience at all can make the test interesting. The subordinates think that this bunch of foreigners will hardly be able to pass the test, and Alex's team goes through the second door. The whole maze is full of traps, even if they have a map. Without skills, they won't be able to go too far. Men in suits jump over laser sensors attached to traps. They pass the test and see the exit. They are extremely happy that they finally found it. This minigame turned out to be more difficult than it seemed. One is happy that he doesn't have to go anymore, and now they can rest, because the others won't come soon. As they exit, they are met by Alex's team, playing cards as if they had been sitting there for a long time. The people in suits are in incredible shock. They don't understand how these weaklings ended up here. The girl yells at her boss, Jack, because he said that only God can find a way out faster than them. Alex turns to the people in suits and greets them, introducing himself as a god. The man in the mask congratulates everyone on successfully passing the first round. Now it's time for the second. The first to approach him will be Dragon's Fang, who reached the Saint's Palace last. Then the man in the mask announces the entire order. Kepler wonders what awaits them in the second round. 3 minutes have already passed since the teams began to enter one after another. Charlotte scares the boy by telling him that they are in for a game of death. and when the first team is destroyed, it will be time for the second. Foster reassures Michael, promising him that none of their team will die. The leader of the Devouring Light turns to Elizabeth, asking why she, a known assassin who has not joined any team, came here with these strange people. Jack invites her to join their guild, but the girl asks him not to bother her. The man proves persistent. He says that Clark has no future with these losers, so the Light Devourers are her salvation. Alex is unhappy and asks the man to be more polite, since it is impolite to poach people right in front of his nose. Jack is convinced that Foster's team only came in first because they cheated, and if Clark doesn't move forward with the Light Eaters, she'll simply be disqualified. The guy suggests just seeing which of them will leave here first. The people of the Devouring Light are not happy about being provoked, but their time has come to start the second round. A girl from their guild remarks that they won't be able to see each other again, so they just have to wait until the end and they will make them pay for their arrogant words. Elizabeth is upset that she caused a fight. Alex reassures her, saying that these people are very unlucky. Finally, it's their turn to begin the test, and they are very interested in what awaits them there. They land on a platform and a glowing disc appears above them, telling them that it is their target and must be protected. Charlotte, drenched in a cold sweat, asks Alex again if they really need to guard the ball of light. The ball reveals that he is an artificial intelligence created in the image of a target that needs to be guarded. He's responsible for this test. In order to pass it, they need to protect his real body. Michael asks if the scientist is his real name. The ball apologizes and says that he can't answer such a question. He also says that the test is about to start and asks how much they know about him. Foster says her name is Erin, an artificial intelligence developer and also a researcher of the Shadow World. Alex also knows that she combined the formula developed by the artificial intelligence for the Shadow World. She can gradually calculate the development path of the Shadow World and its impact on their world. In other words, Erin can predict the future of the Shadow World. All this is possible thanks to the financial organization OS, founded by her grandfather. Intelligence notices that the information Alex mentioned was not disclosed anywhere. Because of Elix's grandfather's pocket watch, they can join the test. Erin asks the guy to tell him what her grandfather told him before he died. Foster says with a sad look that her grandfather just wanted to save the world. Elix also researched the Shadow World. 3 years ago, he sold his share in the financial organization OS to allow Erin to continue studying. He also asked Foster to protect his granddaughter, because her research concerns the last expedition to the Shadow World. He also said that when people invade the Shadow World, he will also attack our world. And since the attack of people on the Shadow World will be very difficult, a specialist in the form of Erin is a very important figure. The ball notes that Elix trusted Alex very much. Elix also asked to convey to Erin that she is not a tool, but his precious granddaughter, as well as a partner with whom he will save this world. The ball thanks for the information. Michael touches it. It turns red, indicating that the test was not passed. The boy does not understand why. The AI replies that they used assistive devices during the test, which made him unhappy, and the main purpose of the test is to gather information. And most importantly, Erin simply cannot allow people like them to take on a security mission, as it is very risky. And most importantly, Erin simply cannot allow people like them to take on a security mission, as it is very risky. Charlotte gets angry. At this moment, the color of the ball begins to change, and the intellect tells them that they have passed the test. Alex realizes that the ball's real body gave the order after receiving a message from the guy. Erin begins to understand that the guy planned everything from the very beginning. Foster says he has been researching information systems for several years, and although he does not have the same talent as the ball, he believes that it is an ordinary digital device for achieving goals, and that it can be achieved by convincing the person behind the ball. The AI agrees with the guy. It can't analyze people like Foster. Charlotte is very happy. She calls her boss a god, and he says that it's time to go. They've been waiting for them. They walk through the door, causing shock to the other guilds. Skyfang thinks that these outsiders simply couldn't carry out this mission, and Light Devourers say that they are too inexperienced. The masked man states that Foster's team has been specifically assigned to protect someone. No objections will be accepted, but in terms of contribution to the work, they will not be entrusted with anything important. Alex says that he is only interested in the opportunity to participate in this mission, as well as the reward for completing it. The rest is nonsense for him. The masked man briefly explains the task. It is a 7-day security mission, During these 7 days, they must ensure the complete safety of the target. All this will take place on a large spacecraft near the Asia-Pacific Space Station. The Avalon spacecraft is preparing for flight to the Mars Space Station. Everyone is asked to come on board. Charlotte finds it strange that even though they were paid a huge amount of money, they still haven't seen the person they need to protect. The flight attendant welcomes everyone aboard the Avalon spaceship. Charlotte notices that only hot-looking girls work on board, and she offers to help Alex pick up one of them. There are a lot of people on Avalon. Everything looks like a real city. Charlotte is delighted. Michael asks the girl not to forget that they came for work. Then he notes that he has not seen anyone from the light-devouring and heavenly shield yet. Foster replies that they just have a higher ticket class. Charlotte is unhappy with this, because they all earn their living here with their skills, and therefore no one has the right to look down on them. Alex says that an economy class ticket is also very expensive. Having learned that their trip costs $10 million, Charlotte is shocked by such news. She will have fun to the fullest during these 7 days. She will not miss this opportunity for anything. She screams that it was worth it. She loves free stuff. Michael is worried about this trip. He asks Elizabeth if they will be able to meet their client at all. She says that it will be even better this way, since she only knows how to kill people, not protect them. For some reason, Michael feels like there isn't a single normal person in their guild. Meanwhile, Maria has the third man almost knocked out. She screams that he will take his sword and fight if he is a man. Anya says that her secretary should head the company of the guilty subordinate, fire him, and also force him to divorce his wife. She says that he was just teasing her, whether they really need to do this. Patrick answers the phone and says he knows the caller is a nutritional supplement salesman and calls him every day. He, sitting on the beach in a sun lounger, says that the merchant, although he understands that he will not buy anything from him, still cannot stop calling him to have fun. Leslie suggests continuing to chat so that he does not blow up the caller's company. Jessica, meanwhile, managed to hack the school system. Now she is not afraid of exams, but who will play with her now if that liar went to Mars? The ship is in Earth orbit, and other planets are visible around it. Alex presses a button, and the door to the cabin provided to his guild opens. The room contains a 6-pointed star made of sleeping capsules, and in the middle is a shared toilet. Charlotte and Michael are in a state of extreme shock. This is clearly not what they expected. The guy says that they only have one room. As expected, they are being treated unfairly. Alex tells the boy to be more positive and look at the other side of things. Suddenly, Elizabeth begins to strip down to her underwear without any embarrassment. Alex blushes and turns away, simultaneously closing Michael's eyes. He asks why the boss closed his eyes. Charlotte asks angrily why Clark suddenly started undressing, and she says she wants to take a shower. The girl begins to wash herself without switching the door to opaque. Charlotte does this for her with extreme embarrassment. She says, extremely irritated, that the girl should have changed her mode at the door first. Elizabeth asks with displeasure why the girl is so worried about this. Charlotte says that she already suspected that she was a robot, but now she has even more evidence. She wonders what Alex thinks about it. The girl turns around and sees that the boss is not there. She asks where he went, and Michael shrugs his shoulders in embarrassment. Alex talks to the AI. He wants to meet for the purpose of protection, but he says that the guy's guild is in reserve. The rest will perform security. Until something happens to both teams, they will not meet. Only during a crisis they use his team, so they need to wait. The guild leader says that this is an old way of thinking. Why don't they make a deal? The AI says that he is not interested in this boring activity with humans. The guy asks him not to refuse without even listening. Alex says that he has information about all the passengers on the ship. With it, he will be able to analyze each one, find out who poses a threat, which will help increase the level of security. The AI asks if the guy has hacked the system. He says that he has. He can hack any system, including the interlocutor, but this concerns the future of their world, so now he will only protect and will not harm in any way, so he asks to make this fair deal. The machine can't refuse the guy's offer. With this information, the chance of survival will increase by 15%, but he will only give him 30 minutes. This is more than enough. Charlotte wonders why the boss was gone most of the day, and now he's back so suddenly and they've gathered here? Where are they going? Alex says they're going to meet a client now. The people from Sky Shield are saying that those losers have come. What are they doing here? They are saying that they will not let Alex's team participate in this mission. Fools like them should just stay away and not interfere. Charlotte tells the soldiers that from now on, here, now, is her main boss. He asks to look at their schedule. The members of the respected guild do not understand. Did they really finish the work early? Shouldn't these guys be in reserve? Charlotte unceremoniously pushes the warriors aside and says that they have stopped standing in the way. Now they decide everything here, and they must follow the rules. So let's follow the schedule. The guildmates enter the room. They see Erin there. She looks like some kind of scientist. There are many monitors around. She says that they arrived later than she expected. Alex understands that she was waiting for him. Michael is incredibly happy that he was finally able to meet the goddess of artificial intelligence, a legendary programmer who can live forever through the use of machine intelligence. Charlotte slaps her palm on the back of the boy's head. She says that only their boss is a true god, and this girl is just a woman who works harder than robots. The girl says that since Alex learned about her from her grandfather, he must also know that she despises those who take the easy way out. They were only given the chance to board because their grandfather personally asked them to. He says he doesn't care what she thinks of him. He's here because he accepted her grandfather's final request to help her achieve her dreams. She asks if the guy knows what she dreams about. He says yes, and for this reason she must live until she finishes the Shadow AI 3.0 program. She says that it is true. As the end of the world approaches, death becomes a common occurrence. But until the completion of the Shadow Intelligence, she must remain alive. The Shadow AI is a program that can save their world, a concept created by a girl and her girlfriend. This world is running out of time. Only this program can save everyone. Alex asks if the girl can tell who is hunting her, but she says that she is not interested. She does not want to waste her energy on it. She is being hunted either by the Shadow World system itself or by her competitors, who are also developing their own Shadow Artificial Intelligence. Since Shadow Artificial Intelligence is an extremely profitable shadow project, and she will make it available to everyone, it is not surprising that people working in this field will want her dead. Alex says that as long as the girl is on this ship, he guarantees her safety. She says that she knows this. Once they reach the space station, she will transfer to another ship and go to Mars using the cosmic force. Then their paths will diverge. She thanks the guy for agreeing to satisfy her grandfather's request. The guild leaves the room in a strange but serious mood. The men in suits stand in front of the door and say, as expected from these amateurs, they were thrown out so quickly. One of the light eaters says that there is no place for such people here, and Alex slaps her on the butt, making her feel extremely awkward. The bald man with the scar says that the bastard is asking for it, and Alex says that they said themselves that they were a bunch of amateurs, so he decided to do it this way. The offended girl screams that today either his hand or his life will remain here, and another man points a laser gun. Alex turns around with a haughty, sly face. He says that any conflicts between teams are prohibited, otherwise the mission will fail, and this is just a warning. Jack tells his guild to calm down. They will pay them back when this is all over. The bald man tells them to start counting how long these scum have left to live. Charlotte makes an obscene sign to the offenders and sticks out her tongue. The man asks why the girl didn't dodge the slap on her buttocks, and she is extremely embarrassed. Elizabeth asks if Alex attached a nanoscale tracking device to that girl. The guy smiles and says that he knew he couldn't do it without her noticing. The girl asks what he has in mind. Alex says that he doesn't know, but the situation will definitely become much more interesting, and it's time for them to go, because they can finally have some fun. 3 days later, Alex's guild wakes up to an asteroid hitting the ship's hull, with the warning system warning them not to panic. Michael says that Avalon's flight path is always safe, and the ship has a powerful radar system. It should have calculated a possible asteroid impact 3 hours before. Alex says that the system was destroyed before the flight even began. The ship has already lost all contact with the outside world. Alex is afraid that complete chaos will come very soon. Michael asks if the enemies really came for this lady programmer. Are they completely out of their minds to do all this to kill one person? Everyone starts to gather. The boss says that according to the order, the asteroid strike is just the beginning, so it's time to get to work. Some people in spacesuits are trying to quickly patch up the hole in the hull before anything happens. A creature with a worm's head and a humanoid body appears. The man in the spacesuit does not understand what it is. The monster's mouth opens, revealing a multitude of sharp teeth and fleshy appendages. All the security quickly runs away from a multitude of such monsters. The warning system notifies that dangerous alien creatures have boarded the ship. all passengers must immediately evacuate to the shelter. The shields try to tell them it's too dangerous for the Light Eaters here, but they just chuckle and continue on their way. Jack and his men deal brutally with the guards. Everything goes according to their plan. Once the ship is destroyed, there will be no evidence left that they were here. The mercenaries say it's time to kill Aaron, and then they can get out of here using the escape pod. Baldy is burned through by a fiery beam, and his people do not understand where it came from. Alex appears from behind the door with the girl, a terrible grin on his face. He asks what kind of wonderful coincidence this is, and his whole team starts to warm up. Jack screams, not understanding where they came from. The guy says that he tracked the movements of each of them, even the cash flows in their bank accounts. They were incredibly suspicious, so he had to use nanomachines for surveillance. The Light Eaters are furious at such actions and want to know who Alex even is, but he replies that none of this matters. He then reveals that all the people in the suits were hypnotized by him from the start, and thanks to the nanomachines, Alex can activate it at any time, and now he did so, forcing them to go in the opposite direction from the lab. Foster snaps his fingers, causing everyone to wake up. The entire squad is at the mercy of the Nightmare Fox. Jack asks to let them go, asking for forgiveness and hiding his true intentions. Alex asks Charlotte to do him the honor of sending these people to their creator, but the girl hesitates. The guy explains to her why they can't be pardoned, and the girl creates a weapon that causes an intracranial explosion. The Light Eaters squad dies instantly. Alex tells his men that it's time for them to go and protect their client. Aaron's lab is infested with monsters and is protected by people from the Sky Shield. The girl accidentally steps on a tin can, making a loud noise and attracting all the monsters to herself. Everyone starts running for their lives. One of the monsters quickly catches up with Aaron, and at the last moment, the monster is struck by a deadly beam. The doors open in front of the girl and 3 figures appear, glad that they made it in time. Elizabeth uses her massive cannon to roast several monsters with a powerful stream of fire. Charlotte steps forward and blocks the bloodthirsty monsters with a green shield. Michael at this time grabs Aaron by the hand and leads her out of the lab to a small ship. The girl asks where their boss is. Kepler replies that he went on deck because the Light Eaters killed all the workers responsible for operating the ship, and he is also repairing all the machines they destroyed. Aaron asks the boy in surprise if their boss really knows how to fix ships. Michael replies that according to him, it's very simple. A ship of this size should have a backup system in its core. He just needs to adjust the circuits a little. A huge monster smashes the ship that Michael and Aaron are running to. The girl notices that this is the mother of the monsters. Michael, without losing his head, immediately calls his demon. The Nightmare Fox lunges at the Mother Fox and is immediately dealt a powerful blow. Michael falls to his knees and clutches his head. Aaron is very scared for his condition, but he says that everything is fine. Elizabeth enters the fray, firing a huge burst of machine gun fire at the mother. Charlotte gets involved, noticing that this ugly monster really does have thick skin. The girl tries to use the intracranial explosion again, but the monster emits an ultrasound. The whole squad, including Aaron, grab their heads. The monster immediately grabs everyone except Aaron with its tentacles and is about to crush the girl with its powerful paw. Alex arrives just in time and uses his ice sword to cut off the mother's paw. The monster releases a squad from its tentacles. Everyone hits the floor with great force. Michael asks Foster to take this huge monster on himself. Foster says to leave the mother specimen with him and everyone else to go away. The guy thinks it's time to use the evolved giant with silver wings. The monster emits an ultrasound again. Charlotte screams for everyone to cover their ears. Alex, standing on the giant's shoulder, orders him to deal with the mother specimen. The giant with steel wings grabs the monster in one hand and throws it with all his might. Charlotte is delighted with her boss's powers as the battle rages on. Foster briefly freezes the monster, giving the giant a distinct advantage, and he throws the mother specimen with such force that it breaks through all layers of the ship and sends the monster into outer space. Alex immediately orders the Avalon system to immediately repair the damage caused using nanobots. The hole quickly disappears. The entire squad exhales. Charlotte notices that they were very close to death. Aaron is shocked that this weirdo was actually able to gain control of the ship's maintenance system, since this is his first time in space. Foster reports that while the ship can service itself, it does not have external communications and does not have an autopilot system, so he will be flying it himself for the rest of the flight to safely deliver Aaron to Mars. The girl asks her silent questions, to which the guy replies that he has never really been in space, but has gone through many years of training. He leaves saying that in any case, Aaron doesn't need to stay here. She can rest, and when they arrive on Mars, he will let her know. Aaron stands there, shocked, asking if there is anything this guy can't do other than create life, and where her grandfather could have found such a divine man. Meanwhile, the dead and frozen mother of the monsters is floating in outer space. Alston appears in space and tells someone that he helped them by sending an asteroid straight into the ship, but he is not responsible for everything that happens next. Some electronic device tells Alston that he has fulfilled their agreement, so he will be sent 1 million artificially created awakening potions as payment to help create an army of awakened ones. Alston thanks them, but warns them that if they do not fulfill their part of the deal, they will die. The head of the Ark is heading straight towards the sun at breakneck speed, causing huge solar waves. 3 days later, after passing through the wormhole, Avalon arrives at the Mars space station. People from this station arrive on the ship to meet Lady Erin in person. Alex says that he delivered the girl as promised, safely. He did everything he had to. Now it's Erin's job to develop the Shadow World AI. The girl promises to give her all to this matter, and then together they will definitely find a way to carry out the final raid on the world of shadows. Lady Erin shakes hands with Foster. They say goodbye. The detachment from the Martian station awaits. Charlotte is thrilled that today she has witnessed the greatest moment in human history. The squad's mission accomplished, Kepler asks what they will do next. Alex reports that for completing the mission, they were given VIP class for the trip back to Earth with unlimited access to all entertainment. So now it's time for a party. Foster and Charlotte are happy, but Michael is a little out of sorts. Elizabeth looks out the window and thinks about her sister. She is glad that she was finally able to find comrades she can trust. She would very much like her sister to meet them too. Charlotte pulls her out of her sad thoughts, rushing the girl. 10 days after his spaceflight, Foster stands in the bathroom brushing his teeth. A message from Aaron arrives on his phone, stating that according to the AI's calculations, the first shadow world that will engulf the entire city will appear in their world in a week. It is not yet known where this will happen. Alex is shocked. He knew that the shadow world would start to consume the world, but he didn't think it would happen so soon. As everyone knows, since the emergence of the Shadow Gate, many awakened have appeared who are forced to explore the world to become stronger. Accordingly, the shadow world will also invade the real world. To be more precise, monsters from there will quickly break out into the ordinary world through the gates, causing serious destruction on Earth. The main character understands that he needs to increase his level as soon as possible. He looks at his stats, which have improved slightly, but he understands that the enemies they will face will be much more dangerous. Alex needs to get a treasure that will significantly increase his defense, providing the greatest chance of survival. Foster chooses the shadow world into which he and his squad will travel. President Anya's car arrives at the gates of the shadow world. There are a lot of awakened people around. The girl gets out of the car, then wakes up the guy who fell asleep on the way. The awakened recognize this legendary womanizer. They heard about his date with Clark, and now Foster has come here with a businesswoman to go on a mission. Alex doesn't understand why everyone is staring at him. The girl says that it's because of her presence. For the sake of this mission, she even had to cancel several important meetings. A man remarks that he heard somewhere that Anya and Alex managed to survive in the C-rank world of ice and fire. He concludes that since this guy is useless, the girl must be simply incredible, but he does not understand why they came on a D-rank mission. The gates to the world of shadows open, and all the awakened ones head towards them. Anya thinks that Alex was bored going alone to the D-rank shadow world, but she doesn't understand why he called her. The guy asks her to calm down, since the end of the world could come at any moment. Foster says he decided to take Anya because she worked hard, and he thought he could take her on to let off some steam. The awakened find themselves in a shadow world called the Alien Ruins. Random heroes wonder what this place is. The difficulty here is not high, but the storm scares one of them. All they have to do is reach the ship located to the north and survive until the afternoon, after which the boss of this world will die from the scorching daylight. So it's time for them to get out before the storm buries them alive. Multiple heroes run in different directions to avoid becoming victims of the sand. Anya asks if she and Alex will follow them. He says of course not, because he's looking for something here. Foster offers her a shovel so she can get to work, and she asks if he really brought her here to dig sand for him. He says that he needs to calculate the location of the object, so he will have to leave the physical labor to her. For help, he promises the girl an A-rank potion, the heart of the King of the Fist. The girl looks incredibly shocked. She doesn't understand how the guy knew that she was looking for exactly this potion. how he can put her in such a difficult position again. He looks at the map and says the next point is 100 meters away at 10 o'clock. Anya says he's a sick bastard who treats her like a common labor force. Alex tells her to stop complaining. He thinks things through and she does the physical work. They both work hard. She calls him a brat for spending so much time and money building her body in a gym to not dig here for him. A lot of zombie robos gather around the girl. This place was originally a technologically advanced world, but after the Great War it turned into a barren piece of land. These monsters were locals, but mutated. Anya says that monsters are surrounding her and there are more and more of them. Should she move to another point? He tells her to keep digging, and he will deal with these enemies himself. A ship arrives and shoots down many zombies within range of its guns, leaving them no chance. She says that he even prepared all these ridiculous devices. At the moment, she is really ready to believe that he came from the future. Alex tells the girl to concentrate on digging and not waste energy on talking. Let her go to the next point, at 4 o'clock, 500 meters. Anya, known as the Heartless Queen Tycoon, calls the guy a heartless bastard. All he does is exploit her. How much more will he make her dig? She asks with displeasure why the sick pervert does not answer her questions. Here he appears behind her and says that she called him so sweetly. Did she really miss him? Taken aback, the girl asks who would miss such a pervert. Why didn't he just answer her now? She thought something happened to him. He says it's nothing. He just went to take a leak. He apologizes for making her dig for so long. He really appreciates her help. Now they can move on to the next step. The girl asks what they should do next, but he says that the enemies are approaching. Why did his ship bring zombies here? The girl furiously asks why they are here. Has he gone crazy? Or has he forgotten his brains at home? The drone takes off sharply and burns out a huge army of zombies that were approaching them. Here, the hull of a large spaceship appears from under the sand. The girl does not believe her eyes. She asks if Alex knew that the ship was hidden here. But he says that he asked her to dig it up to find out its exact location. A human face begins to emerge in the storm. Alex says that the boss of the Shadow World will be here soon. It is starting to get dangerous here. It is time for them to go down. Anya starts sweating in panic. She doesn't understand what to do because there is no entrance visible anywhere. The main character releases a small ball from his hand and tells the girl to look at her feet. A large turquoise portal appears under the team's feet, sucking the characters into it. After the fall, the girl lands right on Alex. He asks how long she is going to sit like that. When the girl realizes her situation, she blushes deeply and quickly gets off. Anya asks what they are looking for here, and the guy says that they are here for a set of armor, a level X combat suit. Alex reports that as far as he knows, there are 3 types of worlds: infinite, repeating, and the last hidden one which only appears once. This world has a limited number of appearances. The ruins they are in now can only appear 3 times. They have already appeared twice. This time will be the last. This brutal war began a long time ago. A war between humanity and artificial intelligence. Humans, who couldn't resist the machines, created a new generation battlesuit in the hopes of defeating artificial intelligence, but it was shot down during delivery. Unable to win, the humans had no choice but to detonate a nuclear warhead, destroying everything around them. So who knows how long this suit lay in this deserted sea? Alex finishes his story by reporting that they have arrived at the place. A black cube levitates in front of them. Anya says that it doesn't look like a combat suit. Alex replies that it's his defense system. He reports that the system can only be deactivated by knowing the sequence of collecting the cube. Foster deactivates the cube and the ship begins to crumble into black squares. The squares assemble into a suit, and Anya realizes that the entire ship was part of a battle suit. Obtained rank SS, suit, brave, fully adapted, is a transformer created using the best technology of the ruins. Equipped with impenetrable protection, 4 skills of the suit are not activated. Anya comments that the suit is incredible. She wonders why the last 2 expeditions couldn't activate it. Alex replies that the core would be needed to unleash the suit's full power, and the core is in the Shadow World boss. A sandy outline of an evil face appears. Foster says that the boss has arrived. The girl notices that the boss is very strong. A sandstorm follows him, absorbing everything in its path. She thinks that she needs to leave quickly. Alex, opening a digital screen, says there is no need to escape. A bright ball appears. Foster says it is the core he borrowed from Apollo. It has energy equivalent to the sun, but it needs time to start working. Anya understands that the guy left in order to arrange everything the way he wanted. The awakened ones who escaped from the world of shadows watch everything that happens through a screen. They do not understand why the sun rises at midnight. The sun absorbs the sandstorm, leaving only a yellow pyramid of the boss. Foster inserts this pyramid into the battlesuit and then puts it on himself. Fighter Anya notices that Alex looks really cool in the suit. The protagonist scatters the suit. He tells Anya that the core is about to explode. They need to leave before they get caught in its blast wave. Foster needs to quickly return to the real world. He still has a couple of things to do there. Everything explodes. The last boss of the ruins is destroyed. The mission is completed. All users will be teleported back in a minute. A week later, the International Exhibition Center in a huge tower, the annual meeting in the field of medicine. Some girl tells Sarah Foster to calm down. Even though she comes from a medical family, it took her a lot of effort to get 2 tickets to this meeting. Sarah, with stars in her eyes, says that for those who are going to study medicine, a trip here is like a kind of pilgrimage. The girl tells Foster to watch quickly, because her idol will be performing soon. Enter Bertha John Hopkins, head of the hospital's neurosurgery department. She trained at the Edinburgh University of Medicine. She is the scientific director of the Doomsday Dawn Project. 10 years ago, she was a leading figure in the medical world. Rog called her a genius girl with the hands of a god. Sarah says she wants to be like her. She is her goddess and her photo is her phone wallpaper. It's a pity that you can't use electronic devices now. The girl says it's because F will also be at the meeting. The media has never shown what he looks like, so filming was banned this time, and Foster says he's so mysterious. An intercity train in the city of K derailed, leaving hundreds of people seriously injured. Using artificial intelligence, he simultaneously operated on 74 students with severe injuries, but no one even noticed his existence. He has appeared in the world of medicine not so long ago because he performs only the most complex operations. He is compared to a deity who never makes mistakes. However, he does not consider medical activity his main profession. What a mysterious doctor. It is because of people like Dr. F that she is even more determined to study medicine. The girl says that Sarah's education is expensive, by the way. Her brother Alex is unemployed and does not have an official job, so he will not be able to pay for her education. Foster says that he is trying very hard, but the second girl is interested in how much can be saved up on part-time jobs. Let her tell him to get a job as a security guard at her family's hospital. The work is stable and the salary is quite good. Sarah says she will ask him, but then Alex appears behind her and asks what she wants to ask him. The girl is shocked and does not understand why he is here. The second girl says hello and says that this suit suits him. Did he really come to work as a waiter at an event? He says emotionlessly that no. The girl says that he shouldn't be embarrassed by part-time jobs, but they don't pay much. She has a good offer for him. He says thank you and suggests that they discuss it later. He needs to step away to say a few words since he was asked to speak. Sarah says that his jokes are out of place because he knows how much she respects the medical profession, and this place is sacred to them. The second girl says that even her father has no right to speak here. Where is he going? The head doctor of Changan Hospital, Mark Saint, approaches and asks what Gloria Saint is talking about. The girl happily greets her father. She just wanted to introduce him to Sarah's older brother because they have a vacancy for a security guard at the hospital. Gloria's father, to his daughter's great surprise, falls to his knees in tears and rejoices that he has finally seen Mr. F in person. He screams that if F hadn't taken over the Cerberus operation from a high-ranking military man, they wouldn't have succeeded, and then their corporation would have come to an end because they were looking for him to express their gratitude, since he quickly left after helping. Both girls are shocked by their father's treatment of Sarah Foster's older brother, and they realize that Alex is Mr. F. The guy says that he is simply interested in special cases of illnesses. He doesn't care about the fate of the doctor's family, so no thanks are needed. They paid for the operation, so they don't owe him anything else. And Sarah's idol, Bertha John Hopkins, addresses Alex as none other than FS teacher. She approaches the guy and blushing says that he is her idol and she wants to become her student. She has already looked at the records of all his operations. How could she contact him? He says no, because he is not interested in teaching anyone medicine. Dr. F is invited on stage. He tells his sister that he will perform now and will explain everything to her when they return home. Berta falls to her knees in front of Sarah's wheelchair and asks for Alex's contact information, leaving his sister in a very awkward position as her doctor is her idol. Gloria is very ashamed because she offered the doctor to work for them as a security guard. Alex stands on stage in front of the audience and says that he is honored to be here. He says that the organizer's last question was why he decided to study medicine, and he was told that many people were interested in it. Foster says that he took up studying medicine in order to personally operate on his sister, and that he has no other reasons. Then he turns to Sarah, thanks her for her concern, and says that he loves her very much. All the spotlights are directed at the girl in the wheelchair. She blushes with shame. Alex walks down the street and reasons that once his sister has completed rehabilitative exercises for her legs, he will be able to perform the surgery. He was informed about today's event after 5 operations in a row, so he was already very tired. He takes out his phone, deciding to see what people have written to him over the past day. The first thing the guy sees is a message from Aaron, which was sent 24 hours ago. It says that the invasion site will be Tokyo, and it will happen within 24 hours. Alex understands that he has already missed exactly that much time. Foster hopes that there is still time and calls Jessica faster, but her number is unavailable. Alex runs past a huge screen where a crowd has already gathered and is watching the latest news. The presenter reports that a shadow gate has appeared in Tokyo. An innumerable number of monsters have already emerged from them. A huge panic has begun in Tokyo. This is the first invasion from the shadow world. The guy clenches his fists. He understands that the destruction of the capital of Japan is inevitable, but he really hopes that Walsh will survive and wait for him. A correspondent in Tokyo reports that the TV signal has been cut off, so they are continuing to broadcast live from a phone, but they probably won't be able to do so for too long. A huge eagle carries a long train through the air in its claws and then drops it on people. The correspondents manage to escape. Now they are hiding behind the carriage. They continue their report, reporting that 100 evil spirits came out of the gates. Legendary demons can be seen everywhere. A multi-headed black snake has taken up residence in the Tokyo TV tower. The Great Crow Warrior is currently in the skies above the Ginza area, setting houses on fire. A girl in a huge fluffy dress froze huge blocks. Automated troops are rushing from different parts of the country to Tokyo, and the advanced units have already entered into a fierce battle with the evil spirits. The reporter doubts that they will be able to save the world from disaster. The people of Tokyo make their position clear by fleeing madly. While running across the bridge, people notice egg-headed zombies in the water who want to taste human flesh. They emerge from the water and attack people. The troops, who arrived almost in time, shoot the monsters. The powerful 5th Squad of the Tokyo Cybernetic Resistance begins its work. They start looking for survivors, and the first one they find is a man who miraculously escaped from the zombies. But this man is already infected. His eyes and mouth glow green. He shoots a beam and kills the rescuer. The squad then comes across a reporter who has been infected by a tree with human faces and must be killed with an incendiary projectile. The tree destroys everything around it with its roots, including a huge skyscraper, leaving only one girl from the squad. Realizing that she is finished, she kneels down and thinks about her grandmother, whom she will never see again. Here the tree with human faces is struck by a light explosion, and someone takes the girl by the hand. The savior turns out to be Jessica. She puts the girl on her broom, and the two of them fly away. Walsh brings the girl, upset by the death of her friends, to the roof of the building. The sorceress calms her down, saying that they will both still be able to meet their grandmothers. A girl from the Carolina squad asks where Jessica's grandmother lives, and she replies that she was lucky and went to New York for negotiations. Walsh looks at the red fireball and remembers her boss saying that something very dangerous would happen this year. She regrets that Alex is away now. Carolina is also sad that her boss is not around because he is strong and could save everyone. Jessica turns to the girl and remarks that it wouldn't hurt for them to save themselves first. They notice a huge spider girl under their building, crushing cars with her paws. Carolina notices that they are now in the place that is closest to the Shadow Gate. This is now the most dangerous zone of Tokyo. It is full of evil spirits that are impossible to get around. The girls do not understand how to get out. They fly on a broom again. Carolina explains that about 600 meters away from them there is an underground shelter. There they will wait for help, and someone's leader will save them. There is chaos in the city. A lot of lights. Some huge toad in beads is holding the captain by the head in the air. Her subordinates understand that it's the end for everyone. Everyone will die. The toad is about to eat the captain, but the girl manages to throw a grenade into the monster's mouth, and it explodes. The captain survives. Her subordinates understand that the girl deliberately allowed herself to be captured in order to throw a grenade into her mouth. Everyone asks Captain Green how she feels. The girl replies that her wounds will soon heal and everything will be fine. She says that they all need to get out of here together, but someone notices that they are surrounded by monsters, and there is no way to get out. Green gives the order to fight to the end, even if they all die here. Then Foster appears on a motorcycle and shoots all the monsters at high speed. He then approaches the monsters closer and continues to cut them with different weapons. Green's subordinates notice that they don't know this guy, but they can already tell that he is very strong. Alex stops right next to Green and says that he came for her. Green believes that the guy is confusing her with someone else and refuses help. Foster shares the information he knows about Dina Green. She is 25 years old, has a mole on her left buttock. She beat up a guy in high school. Something happened 5 years ago that the girl keeps a big secret. The subordinates mistake Alex for their captain's boyfriend. They are shocked, as they have never heard such information. Green warns the guy that if he says another word, she will kill him. Foster, with a calm face, says that if Dina wants to save her partners, then she should get on a motorcycle. The girl asks how this guy knows so much. He says that now is not the time for explanations. Dina asks the main character how he managed to kill so many monsters. The guy replies that he also has his own secrets. A huge crowd of monsters runs after the motorcycle with wild screams. Alex blows up the monsters, tells Green that her partners are now safe. The girl is pleasantly surprised. She tells the guy that they have never met and she doesn't understand how he can know so much about her. Foster replies that they survived together in the City of Dark Ruins, and Dina told him all these things herself. The girl decides that the guy is lying. The protagonist says that it is difficult to explain, but he can definitely say that they are comrades in arms in many parallel worlds. The guy knows that Dina never remains in debt. He asks the girl to help him find one person in exchange for saving her partners. Green takes up the case. Fortunately for the guy, although the entire internet in Tokyo is dead, their encrypted system is still working. After some time, Dina finds information about Jessica. She's mentioned in the records of the 5th Squad's battle. She saved the girl. Alex asks to find out her location. Green is sure that they went to the underground shelter, but it is not a fact that they are safe. A few minutes later, the location of Carolina and her savior appears on the map. They are still not far from the gate. Dina tells Alex that all of Tokyo is now divided into 3 zones, and they are in the maximum danger zone. Alex asks what the division is based on. In the zone of maximum danger, there are the most evil warriors and the least evil generals. In the next zone, death, there are more evil generals, and occasionally evil kings. There are about 10 evil kings and maybe even a higher-level monster living in the Hell Zone. Foster warns the girl that, having encountered the king's level, they can only run away now. And if the legendary level appears, Tokyo will be instantly wiped off the face of the earth. But the guy still offers the girl to cross the Hell Zone. She agrees and uses her screen to plot a route. Here, Dina notices a chase. The motorcycle is being pursued by zombie samurai of the general level. Alex decides to speed up and tells the frightened girl to hold on to him tighter. One of the samurai destroys a high-rise building, knocking it over right onto a motorcycle, and the second throws cars at the fleeing ones. Foster dodges confidently, but the zombie samurai catch up with the motorcycle. A building appears ahead. There is no way through. Alex shouts at the girl to hold on tighter, and he lifts the motorcycle into the air and continues moving at the same speed up the wall of the building. Alex suggests splitting up. Dina jumps off the motorcycle, saying that she will now deal with one of the zombies. The guy manages to attach the girl with a long rope because she is too impulsive. Green says that she is like that because she is very confident in herself. Dina uses heavenly execution and kills the zombie samurai with one precise blow. She says they have a good team. Plus, he knows her moves. He says, of course, the guy is dragging her up the wall on a rope. The second zombie samurai looks at them. Dina shouts for the guy to be extremely careful. They fly up to the top of the building with a loud roar of the engine. They find themselves on a bridge that is already in the death zone. Alex asks what he has to fear. Does she remember her favorite expression? It seems like it doesn't matter whether life or death awaits. But the job needs to be done. The masked girl approaches Harris Knight, asking if they are really going to enter the Hell Zone and go to the gate. He says they have no choice. The man in black raises his staff up, pale blue energy emitting from it. He says that he has slaughtered tens of thousands of people to practice his necromancy. Under pressure from public opinion, Alston was forced to expel him from the Ark. In order to return to his command and become one of the 12 saints again, he must do so. The green entity behind him says that the necromancer is right. He only needs to enter the gates of hell. Find the corpse of a legendary level evil spirit and extract the soul from it. Then Mr. Alston will definitely return it back. A zombie samurai appears in front of them, and Knight orders Warhammer to deal with it. Green swings his hammer with all his might and raises it over the samurai, preparing to attack. He kills the enemy with one blow, and the girl in the mask calls him a fool, because if the body is damaged more than 50%, then Harris will not be able to use it. Warhammer apologizes and says that killing is too fun. Knight notices another corpse and says he will use it for his own purposes. Harris begins to use his power. His eyes begin to glow a bright blue light and his face distorts into a strange grin. He orders his new servant to rise. Warhammer says that Mr. Knight is worthy of being one of the 10,000 awakened mutants. After awakening, he received a special ability to control souls. To pump up the ability, Mr. Knight destroyed at least 3 cities. It was not easy. You just need to pass through the gates of hell into the world of monsters, and then the master will receive a legendary level soul. But the world of monsters is shrouded in inexhaustible miasma. Even a huge dragon will not last long there. Therefore, they definitely need an awakened one who can remove the miasma. The girl says that Jessica Walsh, although a level 37 sorceress, has a buff to cleanse poisons, and she is now in Tokyo. You just need to grab her and take her to the gates of hell. Then the master's plan will be successful. He says that the girl's awakened class is a ranger, so she should be able to handle her search. She says that her shadow search ability shows that she is hiding in the hell zone. They will find her. They stand on the shoulder of a giant resurrected dark samurai. The performance to find Jessica has begun. An uncle and a boy are hiding behind a wall, and on the street 3-headed crows are eating people. The man says that he will take the boy to a safe place. A soldier tries to shoot the 3-eyed ravens and shouts for them all to die. The crows knock the man to the ground and begin their vile meal. The man and the boy are noticed. They get up and start running quickly from their hiding place. The boy falls. The crows almost catch up with him. But the man protects him with his body, telling the boy to run and not to look back. Green and Alex appear and quickly deal with the birds that are threatening people. They say that there is a shelter ahead. Let the people run there. The boy says that the sky is still full of these terrible birds. They won't have time to get there. The man screams that they are finished. They made such a noise that a whole flock of these birds flew towards him. Alex says that it's not a problem. They'll figure it out themselves, and he should take the boy and leave. The guy presses the buttons on his bike, and a multitude of homing missiles fly out, destroying the birds in the sky. The girl says that even his motorcycle is creepy. Foster says that now he is in the second form, but if he enters the third, the form of an airship, then it will become completely simple. The man says that this guy, the boy god, sincerely thanks the saviors and bows, and the shelter turns out to be just 2 steps away, along with the guards near it. The team leaves, and the man shouts after them that there is a temple ahead. It has been captured by demons. Several hundred regular army soldiers died there, and as they say, heaven itself helps a good man. Alex says that the fog is too thick, so the girl needs to get off the motorcycle because they can't go any further. The heroes climb the steps. The girl notices that it is gloomy here. A drum beat can be heard, and a strange figure in a mask and armor emerges from the fog. The girl doesn't understand if it's a soldier from the army who attacked the demons, and Alex says that they are no longer people. The guy shoots into a crowd of former soldiers without the slightest doubt on his face. After the heroes deal with the enemies, Alex says that they are only dead, and to immobilize them, you just need to remove their mask. And you still need to cut them in half the old-fashioned way, just to be sure. And the fight continues. The team puts all the monsters on their shoulder blades. It turned out that there were quite a lot of them, but now only silence remains in the temple. Alex senses a bullet flying towards his ally. He takes out his sword and deflects it, saying that a sniper is at work and they need to run. Dina suggests that these mask-controlled corpses seem to retain the fighting abilities they had in life. The guy says that this is good, because enemies with combat experience are easier to defeat. The guy tells the girl to close her eyes. She doesn't understand what he's going to do. A flashbang grenade falls at the heroes' feet. They avoid its impact and begin to quickly run away from the crowd of approaching enemies. Alex tells the girl to run to the east, and many former soldiers are on her tail. Just as the sniper is about to shoot Dina, the guy quickly cuts off the soldier's head. At this time, a crowd of monsters reaches the girl, and Dina fights them off with the help of her skills. Alex appears next to her on a motorcycle and tells her to get on. The girl screams that the fog is still too thick, but he tells her not to be afraid. The guy says he's already drawn a map of the area, so he can get out of here using automatic navigation. Dina asks who he is. He seems young, but looks like someone who lived for 100 years and then returned from the future. Alex sets all the enemies behind him on fire, and the girl says that even though he is very mysterious, she is extremely calm about being his companion. He says that she is calming down too early, because they have not yet found the one who controls these creatures. Someone appears behind them and starts to destroy everything around them, and the girl notices that, judging by the destructive power, they are being chased by someone who is at least at the level of a king. They will not be able to cope with him. Alex, with an indifferent and emotionless face, tells the girl to hold on to him tighter, because he's speeding up. The girl screams that he is catching up with them. She does not understand what they should do, because they do not even know who it is. The monster jumps after the heroes from the bridge, but at the moment of landing, it turns out that they are no longer there. The motorcycle releases some ropes from itself and ties up Otakamaru. Alex catches the girl and tells the monster to save his strength, because when his motorcycle is in supergravity mode, the Monster King won't be able to move it. The girl, blushing, asks if he can let her go already, because she feels awkward. The guy says that he will borrow her sword, because a normal one would not withstand even one blow, but her spirit sword can withstand more than 500. The girl says that he obeys only her, and besides, this monster is too fast. Alex leaves, and Dina shouts after him that even if the monster is tied up, he still can't handle it alone. The guy fights a royal-level enemy on completely equal terms. The girl understands that Foster is successfully fighting a king-level monster. He even calmly repels the enemy's attacks. Although no, he predicted all of Otakamaru's attacks. This guy has serious combat experience. Although he is not even 20 yet, he looks like a 100-year-old great master. But no matter how experienced he is only level 30. The difference in speed and strength between him and Otakamaru remains insurmountable. If this continues, he will die. She must help, and the monster is already preparing a laser strike from its eyes. The girl does not understand why the bitter rivals just stand and look at each other. Has Alex really gone crazy? The monster tries to land a series of blows on Alex, but misses as the hero swings and strikes with high-frequency vibrating particles. The enemy falls apart in two and evaporates, leaving nothing behind. The girl says that Foster has completely lost his shame, fighting with a motorcycle, and he says that the main thing is victory. For his victory, Alex receives the C-rank sword Otakamaru, which is extremely sharp and can release a warrior spirit and has a super speed mode. Foster also receives the Otakamaru mask, which can quickly restore the body. Alex realizes that the high-frequency vibrating particles need to be charged each time they are used, and he needs to prepare a new weapon. The girl takes the masks in her hands. The guy tells her to take it, since the mask's abilities are perfect for Dina. Foster notes that green is different from the others, because everyone would find the mask disgusting and would not take it. Dina says that Alex is also an unusual guy. He says that they are the perfect couple. They get on a motorcycle and race to the Hell Zone, where they can find Jessica. The motorcycle enters the Hell Zone. The guy has a very concentrated face. He dreams that Walsh will wait for him. There are a lot of people gathered in underground shelter number 21. There is some kind of rumble. Everyone is afraid. Jessica and Caroline are there too. The girl is scared, and little Walsh calms her down, explaining that a big monster just passed by. Carolina says that soon there will be nothing left of this zone, as well as of themselves. Jessica is sure that someone will soon come to save them. The girl is sure that no one will dare to go into the zone where there are monster kings everywhere. Walsh says she has a feeling the trickster is coming and this guy can do miracles. Harris Knight and his friends go to the shelter where Walsh is hiding. The girl in the mask, with the help of her staff, sees the exact direction. The leader thanks the girl, as thanks to her they avoided the monster kings. But he asks not to spend too much energy now. This ability will still be useful to them to deal with legendary-level bosses. A bunch of regular monsters are running towards them. Warhammer asks to deal with them, but Harris says that it is not necessary. Knight summons dark spirits that can easily deal with monsters. A monster king appears, looking like a giant rat in a suit, and Harris decides that his soul would be perfect for entering the gates of hell. The dark spirits very quickly capture the soul of the monster king. Now he follows them. Now they go in search of Jessica. If she refuses to help them, they will simply kill her. After some time, Harris and his friends break into the shelter, breaking down the walls and scaring everyone to the point of madness. Knight does not see a sorceress among the people. The girl in the mask says that her prediction technique could not be wrong. Warhammer notices the guard eye and tells his leader that the girl is very sneaky, and as soon as the eye noticed them approaching, she ran away. An embittered knight orders the hammer to destroy all the people here, and it happily follows the order. People try to resist, but it's all in vain. The hammer quickly deals with the matter. The girl in the mask apologizes to the boss for her inattention. Jessica and Caroline are flying on a broom. At some point, the girl throws the girl off, shouting at her to hide there. Walsh realizes that she is the target of those monsters, and they need to split up so that they both don't get caught. Carolina says that this necromancer has destroyed many cities. He is more terrible than the monster kings, and the girl cannot cope with him alone. The sorceress quickly flies away, asking the girl not to worry about her. The girl stops at an abandoned metro station. She tries to calm down. She needs to hold out until the deceiver arrives. She decides to install an invisible guard first, but then monsters appear from the shadows. Harris and his team follow the monsters. The man tells the girl that she is very smart, and if she wants to survive, she doesn't need to resist. Jessica, with tears in her eyes, asks them not to offend her, otherwise her boss will take revenge on them. Harris says that he will not harm her, as she will be very useful to her, and if she is obedient, she will even protect the girl. They will pass through the gates of hell together. The sorceress calls him crazy, everyone stays away from the gate, and this madman wants to enter it. Knight says he needs a poison cleanse buff, so Walsh has no choice. She can't count on the boss. He was on his way here, but he has a lot of problems on the way. The girl is very angry and asks what these people did to Foster. The masked girl replies that in order to carry out the plan, she used the prediction technique to slightly improve his fate. He will soon meet the Monster King, and finding himself in a hopeless situation, he will die. The whole squad, along with Jessica, heads to the gates of hell. The girl thinks about Foster. She hopes that he will survive. Alex and Dina are racing at full speed. At some point, they brake sharply as a king-level monster appears in the air. Here, Foster notices 3 more monsters of the same level. Now they have nowhere to retreat. Green can't believe that this could happen. She realizes that they are trapped. The monsters were attracted by a buff similar to the Eye of Damnation. The girl says that they are incredibly strong. They will finish them off in a second. This time, they are definitely doomed. Alex calms the girl down, saying that he is not so easy to kill. Alex reads some kind of spell, and multicolored lights appear around him. The Eye of Curse appears and then explodes, now destroyed. Green can't understand how Foster was able to get rid of the terrible curse by combining only basic skills. The guy grabs the girl by the hand and they run away. Alex answers the question, saying that he has been removing curses like this for 30 years, and now they need to hide. The monsters begin to search for them, some from the air, some on the ground. The Ice Girl reports that it is useless to hide. Dina notes that they won't be able to hide for long. Alex says that he understands everything and he just needs to buy time. Foster starts playing a musical instrument. The girl says she can't hear anything. The guy explains that only one person can hear this music. Green isn't sure that the assistant Foster is calling is now in Tokyo, especially now that it's in ruins. Alex says that everything will work out. The monsters continue their search. The huge cat has smelled the enemies. He is already looking into the window of the building where the young people are hiding. When all the monsters are ready to break into the building, the legendary sword demon Chris Wright appears and throws the monsters away from the building. Dina says that Chris was in hibernation and was on life support in an underground base. Having received severe injuries, he can only wake up for 10 days a year. Also, Wright is one of the top awakened in Japan. Dina does not understand how Alex was able to summon him. Chris tells the girl not to be afraid. Luckily, he has 3 more minutes left this year and he will be able to get the young people out of here. A monster in a mask and with wings orders the others to destroy all these people, and they rush to attack. Chris very quickly deals with the monsters. Blowing up everything around, Alex and Dina escape at this moment. Green says it's too much to use Wright and run away themselves, and she's also afraid that Chris will discover their deception and kill them. A few seconds later, Wright appears right in front of the motorcycle, very angry that these people dared to use a special summoning technique that only his sister can use. Alex, with a straight face, tells Chris to return to base as his time is running out. Wright believes that this is just enough time to kill liars 100 times over. Here, Jessica notices 2 monsters in the air, which are rapidly approaching them. She calls out to Foster. Alex tries to explain to Chris that the guy had a special connection with him because Wright's sister trusts him, and he only used him because he had no other choice. Foster warns that if he dies, Chris will never be able to find his sister, but if he survives, she will return to him. The guy asks Right to kill these two kings, then he will definitely fulfill his promise. Chris instantly takes off and very quickly and furiously kills the monsters. He watches Alex and Dina leave from the air. He decides to trust the guy this time. Wright returns to his capsule and thinks that if Foster deceives him, then Chris will find him in a year, even get him from underground. The motorcycle is racing along the highway. Dina is shocked that Alex knows the younger sister of the sword demon. The guy replies that he does not know his sister, and the flute was given to him by Chris himself when they met in the city of dark ruins during long reincarnations. And when he returned to the real world, out of boredom, he made a copy of it for himself. The girl was not impressed by the story. She had already come to believe that Foster was a demon. Alex notices that it was no coincidence that they were cursed, and he realizes that Walsh and the others are in danger. He tells the girl to get ready. The real fight is about to begin. They arrive at the shelter where they find many corpses. Dina is shocked by the cruelty of the killers. Foster notices that neither Jessica nor Caroline are among the corpses and decides that they are okay. The guy notices the sorceress's eye. He thinks that the sorceress left them a signal. He activates manifestation magic, and a bunch of pictures appear before his eyes, showing what has happened to the girl recently. Dina, with tears in her eyes, concludes that Caroline is safe, but Alex's friend was kidnapped by Harris Knight. Foster doesn't know who he is. The girl says that he is a notorious necromancer. He used to be a Capricorn among the 12 saints in the Ark Union, but Alston expelled him for slaughtering an entire city. Dina also talks about his subordinates. The master fortune teller and the warrior with the warhammer should not be underestimated either. They are both powerful mid-level awakened. Alex understands that he cannot be allowed to take Jessica through the gates of hell. There are legendary monsters there. Going there means certain death. And if this Harris wants to die, the girl will not join him. Dina realizes that they are not strong enough to defeat him. Foster says that they have no choice. They have to do it. Harris, his friends, and Jessica quickly fight their way through the monsters to the gate. Jessica asks if Alex is okay, sees him safe and sound in the staff. The masked girl notices that her curse has been lifted and reflected. She is shocked that this young man was able to use the Demon King to strike back. The girl was glad that her boss was alive, while the squad approached the gates of hell. The monsters try to block their path, but Harris orders the shadows to kill anyone who gets in the way. Here 4 demons appear, who have powers superior to those of the squad. Harris realizes that it is not a curse since he can see their souls. These 4 demon kings are just an illusion. He orders an immediate retreat, or else they will be killed by their own attacks. The masked girl notes that an illusionist of at least an average level is capable of this. It is a rare class. There are only 3 of them in the whole world, and there is no way they could have ended up in Tokyo. Night is about to get out, but suddenly everyone notices mid-level mages on the roof. Harris notices that there are over 100 of them, and none of them have souls. They are just puppets. The demon does not understand who can control the puppets of the awakened of all classes. Dina and Alex are standing on the roof. The girl asks the guy how he was able to summon so many awakened, because he is clearly not a summoner. The girl says that she passed the test of the Sage's Tower, where she received a summoning sign. It allows one to summon people of all clans once, but their strength is at the initial level of awakened. Green speculates that Foster is a secret class owner who alone possesses limited skills and user badges, and she also knows that only by raising the badge level by 1 can so many mid-level awakened be summoned. Alex says that the girl is quite smart, and now it's time to attack. He raises the badge and orders to attack. From all sides, the squad is attacked by a variety of awakened ones, some with weapons, some with bows, some with magic. The warrior with the hammer doesn't understand how awakened mid-level puppets can bring them to such a state. The masked girl says that this is because the person who controls them is too strong. He combines their classes in the most effective way, which increases their combat power 5-fold. As the battle rages on, Alex appears next to Jessica, grabs her, tells her that they need to run, and she is glad that he finally showed up. Warhammer notices them. He informs them that they won't escape so easily, and uses the Thunderhammer's instant kill technique. The hammer hits with such force that it destroys everything, causing a huge explosion. Dina thinks that the guy has gone crazy. He went crazy to save his comrade. He won't survive the fatal blow of an awakened level 70th. The smoke from the explosion clears, revealing Alex in the iconic suit, followed by a little girl. Dina knows that after activating this suit, she can protect herself from a fatal blow. Harris is glad that Foster has finally arrived. He laughs and raises his staff. Right strengthens his spirits. They attack the boy and girl. The demon orders them to give up their souls. Green realizes that they are trapped by the enemy, and she fears that this time they will not be able to escape. Harris orders the spirits to kill everyone except the girl. He still needs her. The battle begins. Foster easily repels the attacks of huge, powerful spirits. Jessica regrets that she killed her boss. She tells him that he shouldn't have come to save her. Foster says that if she's ashamed, then she can repay him later by becoming a loyal tool. Dina asks what they should do. Because there are too many enemies here. They will kill them. Alex says that there is only one thing left to do, to take a risk. Maria Sparks appears behind the masked girl, causing shock among the enemies. She breaks the staff through which the girl could foresee. All the spirits begin to disappear. All attention is drawn to Maria. Dina asks who appeared. Sparks confidently states that no one dares to harm her comrade. Maria approaches Jessica and asks if she is okay. The girl replies that yes, the deceiver saved her. Foster notices that Maria is indeed his patron goddess, always appearing when needed. Maria asks the guy to tone down the flattery. Dina didn't expect the noble Sparks to attack from behind to save the boy. Maria points to the girl and asks Alex who she is. The guy introduces Green as a comrade in arms. Green is unhappy that before this the guy called her Candy, and now she's become just a comrade in arms. Harris addresses the insolent men who dared to kill his subordinates. He promises to bury them next to them. He uses his staff to summon a skeleton and orders it to kill everyone here. The skeletal giant rushes to attack. Dina reports that it consists of the resentment of the people that Wright once killed, and even the sword of a high-level awakened one will not stop it. The monster appears close to the guy. Maria shouts to him that there is no need to hide. It is time to use his trump card. Alex notices that the girl knows him very well. He takes out a dragon shadow from his glove. Everything starts to burn. A huge black dragon with many heads appears and immediately attacks the warrior with a hammer. Dina realizes that the boy sacrificed 100 mid-level awakened puppets in order to use one of them's unusual spatial movement ability by forcibly transporting the multi-headed dragon from Tokyo Tower here. Maria asks the guy if he is confident in his abilities, if he can control the dragon. Harris is shocked that this bastard used the Eye of Damnation to make the Demon King attack them. He doesn't understand when this guy managed to do all this. Alex points the giant snake at the skeleton, saying that it is his final target. The dragon releases fire and then attacks the skeletal giant, but he is confident that he can easily kill the Demon King. The battle begins. Dina sees that the skeleton is superior to the dragon in strength, suggests that everyone take advantage of the opportunity and escape. The skeleton uses its last blast. Everything goes up in flames. Several dragon heads are burned. Harris realizes that the dragon will not die as long as there is at least one head. The rest will regenerate, but he won't give him such an opportunity. The regeneration speed of the giant skeleton is 10 times higher. The giant skeleton is already half recovered. Alex runs towards him with 2 swords in his hands. Wright notices that the guy is too far away. He won't have time to run. It will all be over. Alex uses the Otakamaru blade, which increases his speed tenfold. The skeleton asks Wright to protect him, but he doesn't have time to do anything. Foster breaks him. Wright falls, managing to tell the guy that they will see each other again, and then he will take revenge. The guy thinks that they will not see each other, because he knows that Wright can parasitize in a shadow beast with half a soul, and then come to life when the conditions become favorable. Thanks to this, Harris has already avoided 3 deaths. Foster says that this time the reincarnations will end. He is going to take over his innate ability and take away all the shadow beasts. Alex gains a special absorption ability that allows him to take away the innate abilities of those who are dying or unable to resist. He also gains Harris's only ability as a top-level awakened being, shadow manipulation, which allows him to extract a shadow from the dead, turning it into his own. Having taken the ability, the guy also received 1 shadow of the beast. He invites her to go finish this fight. Foster approaches the corpse of the peak-level Demon King and causes his soul to awaken. Target level too high, extraction failed. Alex tries again and gets the same message. Alex concentrates and tries to awaken the 8-headed dragon once more. The Demon King awakens, all of his heads are on fire, his eyes glow red. Dina notices that this guy inspires fear in her. He deals with all the enemies one by one. Everything goes strictly according to his plan. He is invincible. Jessica, with glowing eyes, tells the girl that the deceiver is the most unusual strongman. You just have to get used to it. The girl sees a helicopter in the air and waves to it. Alex tells everyone that they are now flying out of the city. The five of them are sitting in the helicopter. Caroline looks at Alex, Maria, and Jessica and says that they look like a family. Sparks jokes, saying that no one will want to have children with him. Caroline asks how Jessica is feeling, but she is already asleep on Maria's lap. Three people in black cloaks stand in front of a huge door. One of them does not understand what is going on. Alston has been locked up for several days now. Has some important event really happened that will change the world? Alston is sad about Wright's death. He considers him his most loyal subordinate. He knows what Harris was going to do to get back into the ranks. The cruel demon promises to make his enemies pay for their death. He understands that the culprit is Foster. The demon is going to first win his favor and take advantage of him to the maximum, and then bury him. Alston opens the door and orders his three subordinates to bring Foster to him. He intends to do everything to raise him as his successor. In the toilet of a supermarket on some island, Alex is talking on the phone, saying that he is very grateful that Mr. Alston showed him attention. Some two guys overhear the conversation and decide that he is a liar or a pretender. Who is he anyway, since the leader of the Ark appreciated him? Alex says that he will definitely come himself when he's ready to fight with him on equal terms. He is asked to wait a minute. The guys from the toilet think that this liar has a good imagination. He acted out a scene of refusing Alston right in the toilet. A hologram of Alston appears in front of Foster. He says that he will wait for him and believes that it will not take much time. Alex agrees. The Ark leader offers him a fist. The guy takes it away with a smile. The guys are shocked by Alston's appearance in the toilet. One even wet his pants. Foster didn't expect the demon to start getting closer so quickly. The guy understands that if he can't subdue him, he will attack soon. Now the guy's priority is to make everyone stronger. He needs everyone to level up to the average level. Alex, Charlotte, and Michael are walking around the supermarket with a trolley. The boy asks the boss if he really refused Alston. The boy confirms. Kepler says that he would never refuse to meet with this man. Charlotte punches the boy hard on the head, calling him a shameless brat who wants to betray his boss. Kepler says he's just jealous that Alex has this opportunity. Foster says that they need to stock up on supplies because they will be having lunch together for the first time in the real world. Michael asks if Maria will come because she had a competition in Europe. Alex says that the girl is already flying to them. At a beautiful sunset, they return from the supermarket to their luxurious huge cottage. Alex invites everyone to feel at home, to settle in, and not to be shy. Anya appears. She is not happy. Not only did they pay with her card, but they also came into her house to litter. Foster caustically remarks that the girl has many houses, and there is nothing wrong with the fact that they occupied one of them. Moreover, this entire island is hers, so there is no point in arguing about trifles. Jessica, Patrick, and Michael are playing video games. Alex says that's enough. They'll sit down to eat soon. Patrick asks to let him at least win a round. Michael apologizes, saying that the man is too weak. Jessica is angry that she is not allowed to take the place of the loser. Anya asks Alex to tell her why he gathered them all here on the island. The guy says that first they need to wait for one more person. Maria comes into the cottage with a bottle of champagne and apologizes for being late. Alex says that it's good that she came, then goes to the kitchen and asks Elizabeth to set the table. The whole squad is sitting at a luxurious table, where there are many different national dishes. Charlotte offers Patrick another drink. He is happy because for the last few years, young people have been drinking with him only to sell health products. Jessica plays rock, paper, scissors with Michael. The boy always loses. Having eaten too much, almost everyone falls asleep in the living room. Elizabeth washes the dishes and Walsh helps her. Maria went out onto the balcony and looked at the waves. Alex came out to her. The guy says they need to talk. Sparks, blushing, says she's not ready. Foster sees that the girl misunderstood him and says that he meant that they need to go to the shadow world together, since everyone needs to raise their level to average. Maria exhales and agrees with the guy without any problems. He asks what she was thinking, but she refuses to tell. Sparks says that she is already level 50, but the others are just above 40. She asks if they can also reach the intermediate level. Alex says he can do it easily. He wants everyone to get to at least level 50 and change classes. Anya sneaks up and throws her hand over the guy. She says that as far as she knows, everyone levels up differently. So she is not sure that everyone will be able to change classes in one world. Alex says that this is a special world, and there is only one entrance there. The girl comes even closer to the guy and says that if he succeeds, she will reward him. Maria drags Anya into the house, saying that she has been drinking too much and needs to sleep. But the girl claims that she will still reward Alex. Jessica, watching what is happening through the window, sighs and says that it is scary to be a woman. I wish she never grew up. The entire squad is racing somewhere along the waves at high speed, breaking the sea waves. On the rock, there is a large gate that the guy was talking about, and a large number of people have gathered around it. Michael is surprised that there are so many people here. Anya says that she made inquiries. Everyone thinks that this is a large and valuable shadow world. Inside, there are more than 3 SS-level treasures. The team disembarks. The other awakened are extremely excited about their appearance in this place. They notice that even the goddess Sparks is here. How beautiful she is, even better than in the video. Thanks to her, the guild went through fire and water. One of the awakened is very jealous of Alex. He can be next to such a strong swordswoman. Michael notices that there are many powerful awakened gathered here, and Elizabeth notes the presence of the big 3 light eaters here. One of the Assassins' Guild asks Alex how the people from his guild died on board the Avalon. Someone seems to be hiding this information. Alex says that since the Assassins failed the mission and died, it means they weren't capable enough. So why ask? Patrick shouts that their dead comrades shouldn't have messed with his guild members. If they wanted to fight, they should do it to the end. The member of the Light Devourers smiles slyly and suggests that they go back to the world of shadows and have some fun there. Just at this moment, the gates open. Everyone tries to get there as quickly as possible to seize the initiative into their own hands.